Welcome to the Inglorious Bards. I'm your mostly humble Game Master Tom, and this is Episode 3, Tower of the Gear. As always, thank you so much for coming along on our adventures. We're glad to have you here. A quick shout out to our sponsor for this season, the Fantasy Grounds virtual tabletop software. In our last adventure, the heroes slew the weird gnome Vargalos and recovered a map from his belongings. On this map, there was a drawing of faces next to the word gear. Intrigued by what this meant, our heroes explored past faces carved into a chasm and found a tower standing out in the grassy plains. Within the tower, the heroes encountered a strange being calling itself the Keeper and climbed their way to the top of the tower. There, they found themselves in a room full of brass debris, no sign of any gear, and two brass guardians charging right at them. What was this gear written on the map? Who was this keeper guarding the tower? And how will the heroes take down two men made of brass and magic? The adventure begins. In a valley surrounded by rolling hills of grass, there lies a tower of stone. The purpose of this tower and the people who abandoned it have long been forgotten. But abandoned does not mean unguarded. Our heroes have followed a map to this remote location that promises treasure, some gear worth selling to a prospective buyer. While exploring the tower, the group talked their way past a shadowy guardian to the very top floor. Here they have arrived in a chamber covered in shattered brass cogs and metal pieces.
Stay close. I don't like the look of this place.
Oh, you always say that. You always say, I don't like to look at this.
The group cautiously enters the room. Their feet shift on the brass pieces scattered across the floor. Killian, the cleric, carefully moves aside a bent chunk of brass with his foot.
It appears some machine or device was destroyed here. Perhaps we should take a sample of this metal with us.
Killian reaches down to pick up a piece of the debris. Idrisil, the elf, shakes his head at his friend.
Best we leave well enough alone. The thief is doomed who steals an unknown treasure.
Nobody touch nothing. We ain't disturbing nothing. We don't need to.
Iggy the dwarf looks back to make sure the cleric doesn't lay a finger on any of the brass debris. The dwarf frowns when he sees the gnome Xander in the back of the group, already holding several pieces in his hands. Iggy raises a stern eyebrow at the gnome, who drops one of the pieces back to the ground with a loud clang.
Like I said, don't disturb.
Xander drops another chunk of brass to the floor with a clang.
If we don't touch nothing.
Another piece hits the ground next to Xander. Iggy snarls. He waits a moment and then continues.
Let's form a line in case of any traps. The element of surprise will help us.
Xander drops his last piece of brass.
Are you done, little gnome?
Sorry, there's just so much of it on the ground, and they're so shiny.
Hey, what's that over there?
Jix the goblin walks to the north wall where three flanged pipes stick out.
Looks like something for water or pouring grain. Raw grain.
The goblin puts his eye right up to the hole in the pipe but sees nothing within.
Hold! There's something moving at the other end of the room.
It's a machine of some sort. I've never seen the likes of it before.
A tall yet slender metal box grinds away with exposed cogs and gears. Iggy readies his greatsword.
Get away from that pipe, Jix, and stay close.
Brass chunks of metal slide across the floor and float through the air next to the metal box. Ready for trouble, Jix slips his fingers into his pouch of potions. Xander gathers glowing magic around his hand. The chunks slam together into solid plates. Those plates form legs of brass, arms of metal armor, and faceless masks of metal. Two guardians of brass take shape across the room. They wield axes atop tall metal shafts and stand like brass statues.
I knew I didn't like this place.
The doorway into the chamber slowly closes behind the group. On the far side of the room, bars slam down across the doorway out to a balcony. The group is trapped in the rubbled room.
I don't know what triggered these fellas, but I know who will finish them.
In the back of the group, Xander quietly places one last piece of stolen brass on the ground.
Sorry.
The two brass guardians charge across the room. Shards of metal crunch under their feet.
Here we go!
The brass guardians raise their axes and plunge into the heroes.
Who would have guessed? I didn't think it would do that.
Okay, so you guys are in this room filled with brass. About 2/3 of the way across this room are these two brass guardians that are starting to charge right towards you. Behind them is this machine. It's about 4.5 feet tall. It's rather slender, and it has weird little gears and cogs, and it's moving around slowly. There's a big, tall, similarly height, like 4-foot lever sticking out of the ground behind it. There's a balcony at the far end of the room, but it's closed off with this porculus type concept. There's these 3 pipes at the north section of the room, and then all of you are on the far east section. Most of the room is covered in a lot of this debris, making it difficult terrain. You'll move at half speed is the situation. And Jix, you get a bit of a start as you're standing next to this pipe. It gives off this hollow ooh sound, and air and dust releases from it. And we are starting our combat, and Killian, you are up first.
Killian will head over to where Idrisil is standing,
Okay.
and he will reach a hand out, touch his bow,
Okay.
and blue energy glows, and he has cast magic weapon.
And one more time, what does that do?
Idrisil's bow. It gives him a +1 to hit, and then 2 damage dice per hit.
Yes, instead of like 1d8, it's twice the damage he can do now. Sweet.
2d8.
And that will last through the battle 1 minute.
All right, that's your turn. Next up is Idrisil.
Okay, I guess that's
Perfect timing.
Works really well.
Yay!
Idrisil, you're about maybe 30 feet, 35, 40 feet away from these guys, these brass guys that are coming right at you.
So
piercing damage
yeah,
works.
so all of the lines on the map here, that's just debris.
Debris.
So I can't like take cover under any of that. Kind
No,
of stuff?
it's just uneven ground.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
A lot of rats.
So Idrisil is going to take out the bow. Obviously, going to use his first action to draw a weapon.
Let's assume that's already out.
Okay, never mind. Well, let's take that first action to hunt prey on the closest brass guardian.
Okay.
And Idrisil is going to take a hunted shot. As he does so, he's going to shout, "Let's see if they take piercing damage."
Don't forget your +1 now.
And I have a +1, so it's a +8 instead of +7. Ooh, okay, so that'll be a 14
Okay.
Jeez.
to hit.
14 to hit. Your arrow misses and buries itself into some of this debris on the ground.
Let's take...
This was a double shot you were doing?
That's the hunted shot, yes. So it's going to be the second shot, so it's only a +5 now. That's an 8, even worse.
It's a waste of a spell.
It's right dead
You're
center.
giving us bad luck with your spell. Because remember that last
I believe
spell?
you have one action left.
Yes, and so Idrisil is going to take his last action to say, "I think my dagger or sword might have been a better option, Killian," and I'm going to tuck and roll closer to the lever.
You're going to get closer to
I'm
the
going to try
lever.
to get closer to the lever. We have to get closer to this lever. I think that's the key.
All right, you run a little bit. It's a little hard going, so you don't get too far, but you get some distance. Nice. Next up are the Brass Guardians themselves. They come tromping through the room. This section they're running through is not particularly busy on the ground, so they come stomping through. And their second action is they come running right up to Iggy, who's in the front line. They have this giant axe. It's called a glaive. It's got like this curved blade up at the top. It's a little tall pole arm. And they come swinging it down in a wide arc. And actually, they've got a little bit of reach on it. They don't have to get that close to you. They're about a step away from you. They swing this deadly glaive with its last action for a 25 to hit.
That'll smash.
All right. You've been hit for only 7 points of slashing damage. The other guardian runs, and it runs to intercept the other hero, which is Idrisil, as you're making way along that north wall. It runs twice, and actually has to spend all of its actions to get close to you as it starts to slow down within that debris, and it is done. Next up, Xander.
Oh, it's me. So I am watching exactly which direction they're going. They're headed off to the left. So I'm going to go to the right.
Okay.
So I will run the opposite direction of the room from Idrisil so that we can be spread up, because I agree with him. I think the lever's a good way to go. So I'm going to...
That's one action to get to there.
I'm short. I know. It takes a while. Can I target... Are they... Okay, so I would like to target them with an electric arc.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I'm within 30 feet of the first one. Is he close enough to the second one to have an arc next to the two?
No.
Okay, then I will throw all of it at the first guy.
Okay. Are you making an attack roll, or is it a...
It is a reflex
save. I can do a reflex save. You zap with electricity at that guy next to Iggy. The creature makes a reflex save, and it's not the fastest with an 8 as it tries to step away from the electricity.
He's going to take the full brunt of it then.
All right. How much is that?
That is 8 points of electric damage.
8 points of electric. You zap the creature with electrical energy, and it fizzles and takes a small little burn mark on it and doesn't seem to do any perceptible damage with the max roll you just did.
Neat.
Yeah. Jix, what do you have up your sleeves?
Jix hearing this, kind of seeing the puff of dust and hearing the whoosh of air coming from one of these tubes. I don't like the sound of this. And he wants to begin to run towards that lever in between Killian and the wall.
All right.
And then, no.
Oh, on that side, okay.
Yeah.
And 1, 2, you can almost get there. 3.
All right.
Okay, running like crazy. You run past another pipe. You run, trying not to slip this debris. You're right next to that weird machine and lever, and your turn is over. And last up is Ignal Heavybringer. What you got? You are toe-to-toe with this guy.
I thought you said he was a little bit away.
Yeah, oh, that's true. He's
so I have
step
to
away.
move.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to move in. I'm going to do a little feint.
Okay.
And then I'm going to swing my sword right into...
All right, make a deception roll for the feint.
Going left, going right.
A 3.
A total of 3?
A total of 3.
All right.
He feinted left and then feinted left.
He doesn't quite get how feint works.
Nope.
All right, now you
Just follow through the swing.
Too much momentum.
A natural 20.
Oh, he shuts us all up at the table.
Worked after all.
11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. But that's with your double damage.
Yeah,
Okay.
I rolled shitty.
You slice across, you do a big hit, a big scrape. You pull back your sword and you see this big cut across it. It seems like it did minimal damage to the thing, but then a big chunk of its armor then falls off, exposing little bits and pieces of the brass that are barely clinging together on the inside. Nice hit. Killian, you are up.
Lovely. Killian will...
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Before you go, Killian, one more thing. There is a huge, massive blast of sonic energy that comes out of that pipe that Jix ran away from that hits Iggy, Killian, and Xander. I need the 3 of you guys to make fortitude saving rolls as you are hammered by this sound, this big bellowing sound.
16.
Okay, that's pass.
20 for Xander.
23.
Wow, you guys all pass. Nice job. You guys pass, you take half damage, you take 3 sonic damage each. Iggy, Killian, and Xander. And at the start of the next turn, you can see 2 things. You can see and hear 2 things, actually. One, you see that there is another ooh sound that comes out of that far eastern pipe that's closest to the 3 of you again.
Okay.
And you also see some strange sections of brass and cogs starting to float and move and gather near that machine on the west side of the room.
Okay.
Killian, now you may take your turn.
Killian will move forward to the southwest, away from the sonic boom, and kind of heading towards the lever, but...
That might get you further there.
Okay.
Okay.
It was just a single move, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then he's going to shake his book at Iggy and cast Heal.
You shake the book?
I shake my book.
All right.
I'd rather see Killian twerk.
I shake my moneymaker. And then white energy globes and transfer it over to Iggy, healing him for 10 points of damage, taking him up to 19
Okay, that'll help.
hit points.
I didn't know you were that badly hurt.
Yeah, he started the battle at 19, so...
Idrisil, you've got the second brass guardian right in your face. You're in the northern section of the room in the rubble.
Heavy rage.
So I'm going to do two things immediately. I'm going to...
Panic is the first. What's the second?
No. Instead of panic, I'm going to do... I'm also going to do a feint
Okay.
to try to get away from this guy.
You know how it works?
I fainted before. Trust me. Fainted many a time. So I'm going to do a feint, and then I'm going to withdraw my bow.
Put your bowways in action.
Yes.
Okay.
looks very
It's
sad at
the
that.
magically infused bow.
Have stepped back, but
I
you
can't.
know.
Actually,
I suddenly have this overwhelming sense of peer pressure.
no. Ooh, I'm going to do this instead. Then I'm going to feint around him. Use a second action to jump back further towards the lever in the middle of the room. So
Okay.
I'm gonna feint around him, jump to the middle of the room. Then I'm going to strike at him with a 100 shot.
Okay, so you're going to try and get to the middle of the room. Let me double check. I don't think he has any sweet attack of opportunities. He does not. You're able to get around him with two actions. You spin around and can shoot at him. He's not your marked enemy. Keep that in mind. Or you can shoot the one next to Iggy.
Yeah.
Did
I'm
he
going to
get
shoot. I'm
flanking
going to
for
shoot the one next
Melee
to.
only.
I'm going to shoot the one next to Iggy.
Okay.
My 100 prey. So like, again, that's a +8 instead of a +7. That's only that's a 10, unfortunately.
A
But I
10.
have a second
You
shot.
do have a second shot.
Use arrow.
That's 5. That's 21.
21
To hit.
is a hit for sure.
Perfect. That's 2d8 now. Ooh, and that'll be 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. Hits.
Piercing damage, yeah.
And goes through its little cogs and pieces on the inside and shatters a whole bunch of them. It does not resist that at all. One more time, that was 12 points of damage?
Yes,
10.
sir.
12.
12, yeah. 2 6s.
Yeah, and it starts to stumble around a bit, making weird clicking type noises, but still rises up and is ready for some carnage. And carnage is what's about to happen. The northern guardian that Idrisil just ran by spins around and goes after the first prey it sees, which happens to be a goblin named Jix. Jix, it comes chasing after you, gets within 10 feet of you and swings its large glaive weapon and tries to cut your head clean off. Let's make a head clean off roll with a 16.
No.
Oh! Swings,
I'm
misses.
shorter than that.
The other creature strikes at Iggy. It's right next to you, the wounded one, and it strikes with its glaive with another 16 to hit.
Nope.
No. It then feints to the left. Feints to the left with a 14 versus what's your willpower? Willpower save. Up at the top.
6.
6. It needed a 16 or higher. It feints and fails to feint just like you did against it. And then it
Perfect.
swings one more time at you with a 12 to hit. It's just all messed up from the arrow that just shattered right through its body, and it can't seem to figure out what's happening. And there is a Xander who gets to go.
Okay. I'm completely ignored. So I am going to rush towards the...
Story of your life.
As often as possible. This is a good advantage that no one sees me.
He has the middle child disadvantage.
I was going to say, his dad taught him a good lesson.
I know what to do. I'm just going to run straight for the lever
All right.
as far as I can get there.
What's your move speed? 25?
I got 25.
Okay. That is 1. That is 2-ish. And 3 will get you right to it, but not an action to do anything with it this turn. 3 of you are just like blitzing it like it's a quarterback or something like that. All right, you're racing towards the lever. Just inches away is this machine, and you see there is this torso-like shape of brass and pieces that have formed and slammed together, Xander, of a possible third brass guardian. And Jix, you're right next to this. You're very close to this lever in Xander right here, and you also have the second guardian right behind you.
Jix is gonna throw caution to the wind and throw himself at this lever. Does he see that he is on the correct side of the lever?
The lever is leaning towards you
okay.
right now.
Yeah, so Jix just wants to run and fly through the air and hit this lever with his full mass.
All his might. All right, make an athletics roll.
All 3 pounds
and
of
add
it.
+2.
All right.
Actually, he's quite athletic.
How much do you weigh, Jix?
I don't know.
+2, that's 14.
14. You throw yourself at it. You hit it with your shoulder like a little football. What are those things? Those little training football things, what they do in their practice?
Tackle dummy.
Tackle dummy? You hit this tackle dummy that is completely locked into
Yay,
place
sports!
and doesn't move an inch. You slam into it and you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. You slide down the lever a bit onto your knees and say,
Ouch!
you have 2 more actions remaining though. You're on your knees.
Do I see any sort of like locking mechanism on the lever that's preventing it from being moved?
Make a perception roll.
11.
You start looking around. You start moving some of this debris out of the way. You can't see anything in there.
I don't know how it moves.
You have 1 more action left.
I want to use a fancy one.
No, you faint.
I see this torso forming and I hide. I dig myself under these brass cogs.
Okay, you start digging and hiding.
Yeah.
Okay, make a stealth roll. I don't know.
I'm good at stealth.
That's interesting.
18.
18, like a crab in a low beach area at low tide. Jix starts burrowing in and disappears
Like a 3-year-old in a ball pit.
with flasks of fire. Okay, Jix has disappeared. Iggy, you are last in this round. You have this wounded brass guardian right in front of you.
I'm gonna try to demoralize it. See if that works.
Okay.
So an intimidation.
Intimidation roll.
A 14.
You attempt to demoralize it and seem to have no effect.
Okay. Then I'm gonna rage. I'm gonna like tear at my chest and like,
Do you rip off your clothes like Hulk?
Why does no one care what I look like?
and then I'm gonna attack him.
Okay.
That gives you 4 hit points, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So 23.
23 is a critical hit.
Yeah.
Its armor is shredded.
So that's 2 attack dice.
It's everything doubled on your. So roll double
Oh, okay.
twice and add all your modifiers twice. Everything.
So 20 points of damage.
20 points of damage. You just see Iggy just get
24 points of
24.
damage.
Yell and scream, go into a rage. He swings his sword, and there's just this explosion of brass bits that just go scattering everywhere, and there's just nothing in front of you anymore.
Yes. Nice.
Wow. And then as soon as you do that, Iggy, you are blasted 5 feet to the left by a loud horn-like sound from that pipe section, and you need to make a fortitude saving throw.
23.
23 is really
Fortuitous.
good, actually. 3 points. 3 points of sonic damage.
Okay.
That creature is done. It is Killian's turn. Killian, right before you go, you hear a little sound of hung. This one coming from the middle pipe at the north section of the wall.
Okay. Killian will try to. Can I get behind using whatever actions that? Is that the lever, the big thing in the middle there?
Big thing in the middle is the machine.
Can I get behind the machine away from the sonic horn thing that just made a sound?
2 actions will get you right where you want to be.
Okay. And I will hunker down.
Okay, you are taking cover. That is an action. All right. Next is
Good luck, guys. You're all on
Idrisil.
your own.
So Idrisil sees and hears a couple of things. He sees the lever not move. He sees his hunted prey explode. And he gets an idea. He says, all right, screw it. Puts his bow away. And he's just going to tackle the forming brass thing before it can fully form.
Okay.
And see if he can just rip it apart
Are you-
as it forms.
All right, make an athletics roll.
Okay. It's a +4. Gonna use a hero point real quick.
Okay, that was a bad roll.
That was kind of a horrible roll. And we'll try again.
Yeah.
Even worse, nothing happens.
Okay, you throw yourself at the forming section. It kind of just opens wide for a moment and then reforms around you as you go flying through it.
Okay.
And you slam into the machine that it's right next to, and you yell out as you take 1 point of hair damage as some of your long locks get pulled into the gears of this little weird machine. You have one more action I'll give you, too.
Yeah, so now I am...
He thinks his life's action.
Am I away from the middle cannon now?
No.
I'm not out of
You're
range
right
of
there.
that? Okay. Let's see, what shall I do? You know what? I'm gonna
5 seconds.
try to pull out the lever.
Okay.
See if my strength will do anything.
All right, you got to move over there. That'll be your action then to
Okay,
move
sorry.
over there. All right, the creature's turn is up next. The brass guardian that remains, it stomps over onto Jix, doesn't see you at all, and then strikes at Xander then instead since it lost its original target. And it is attacking you with 2 attacks. Good luck. That is a 15 to hit Xander.
That is my AC.
That is a hit for huge 11 points of slashing damage.
And with 1 hit point left.
Oh, and here comes its second attack. It has a -5 to it.
No, thank you.
With a -5, it rolled a 23.
Whoa. It's still a big hit. That hits.
Is that a critical hit?
Not quite.
Okay. You've been hit for only 8 points of slashing damage.
That knocks me to 0.
Xander is brutally dropped to the ground. The creature that Idrisil just dove through, you can see is almost nearly formed. It has legs and arms, and now its weapon is forming. Xander, you are currently in the dying condition. Your turn is actually gets moved to the beginning of the other guy's turn, so ignore everything I'm about to tell you. Okay, it is not your turn. Jix, go.
Jix grabs a
You're right underneath this thing.
Jix grabs a bomb out from underneath.
You're
or
making
out-
like you're making
out
like
from-
squeaky
out.
dog toy noises every time he steps.
Grabs a bomb from his belt
Okay.
and looks up and just throws it straight up above him at this brass automaton.
Okay. You what kind of potion is this?
This is a Tanglefoot bag.
A Tanglefoot bag. All right. You hit him automatically.
Okay.
Make a roll, and if you hit, you get a critical hit instead.
Okay.
It's so close. He's so not expecting you to be there.
All right. So 18.
18. You throw your Tanglefoot bag just a few feet above you, and you hit him with a critical hit.
Nice. So
What happens visually?
so what you see is out of this bed of cogs and brass things on the floor, you see this bag fly up out of the ground and hit this construct just pretty much in the groin, and as the bag breaks open, these black sticky web just like comes up around him and entangles this construct in this black sticky stuff. On a critical, he's immobilized for 1 round.
Okay, so he cannot move at all.
No.
Which means neither can you.
That's
So you might be able to get it.
I might, maybe not, but more
news, bad news.
importantly, he is immobilized for 1 round before he can even begin to try and take it off.
Nice.
And you also...
Oh, I have 2 more. No, 1 more.
Yeah, you have 1 more. No, you have 2. No, you took 1 out and then
Took
you
it
threw
out.
it. Yeah.
Threw it. So I have
One more action
move.
left. You find, by the way, yourself lightly adhered to the creature.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of cogs attached to it, and you are lightly attached by these weird strands.
Then I'll use one of the necessary interact actions to try and unstick myself.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, it's an automatic. It takes 3 interact actions to unstick. So I'm using 1, so
Or you can make an athletics roll.
I could do an escape.
Yeah.
I could do an escape.
Yeah, just make an athletics roll, and then
Right.
it's a gamble then.
So I do not escape.
Okay. Your Tanglefoot bag magic is stronger than your strength is. All right, you are done. Next up is Iggy.
So that new creature getting formed is like right. Where's that at?
On the east side of the machine.
Okay, so can I
Here,
if I move, can I get to him?
Yes, I believe you
Okay,
can.
so then I will do a sudden charge
Ooh.
and strike at.
All right, you go racing right up, and with your sudden charge ability, with 2 moves, you get a free attack.
Yep. With a 23.
Ooh, it's a huge hit.
Is that a critical?
No. No. With 7 points of damage.
I'm going to say that's a critical. It doesn't have all of its form stuff done. It's not fully protected.
Oh,
Nice. So 34 points of damage.
You slaughtered the thing. You still have an action left. Would you like to strike a pose? Holy cow.
So it's gone?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'll move next to the machine. then.
You're just slaughtering these things left and right.
Yeah.
All right, you were right next to the machine. Well, that was a lot. I'm sad that my new guy took so long to make. And he's instantly gone. All right. Good news, Iggy. As soon as you ran in there, you ran into the zone of the blasting sound.
Yeah.
I need Xander. I need Iggy and Idrisil and Killian to make fort saves. And Idrisil and Killian, you guys add +2 because you have some protection behind the machine.
18.
Good.
14.
Not good. You take 6 points. Killian,
22 for Idrisil.
you're good. You
Natural
take 3.
Natural 20.
You take no damage, and you can move 5 feet somewhere if you want as well.
Oh no, I'm good where I'm at.
Okay.
And Jix, you made your save?
I did.
So you took 3 points?
That's nope, not
No, not Jix. No,
Jix
Xander.
took 0.
Xander's very, very unconscious still.
Oh, yeah. Xander's down. So does that knock his dying condition to 2?
Yes.
Even though I made it.
You still.
All right.
Yeah, the roll doesn't matter at that point. Yeah. Yikes. Okay. It is a new turn, and Iggy, you can hear in the middle pipe section again. It makes that
Yep.
hooting
The
sound.
middle one, you say?
Yep, the middle one. And
Jix, throw a bomb down that pipe.
I'll do my best.
I've been waiting so long to hear you say that.
Jix is not sure that's gonna help.
Not sure it's going to help
Iggy's
out.
not either, but yeah.
All right, Killian, what are you gonna do?
Killian is going to head further to the west.
Run away!
Towards the portcullis. On a single move, and then he's going to spin around dramatically, hold his book out, glows white, shake it a little bit,
Okay.
jiggle it around, and cast his healing magic upon Xander. Healing him for 13 points of damage.
What's your max hit points, Xander?
16. So I'm feeling good.
So
Get up, you lazy gnome.
you feel the breath of life go and flow through you. You lose the dying condition entirely. So you can take your action. You, however, gain the wounded 1 condition, which will make you more vulnerable if you get knocked down. Idrisil, what you up to?
Okay.
Doodling.
I came all this way over here. I'm going to try to pull the lever really quickly.
All right, make an
See if
athletics roll.
I'm stronger than the goblin. It's a 7.
7.
You hear from underneath the car. Exactly.
Get out of the way, Jix! You're clogging the machine!
You hear Jix say, "You're pushing. You need to pull." Try again if you'd like.
No, so that's an action. Hey, Iggy, do you think you're strong enough to do this? I'm going to take a second action to back up towards Killian.
Okay.
And do I have my bow out?
We do have an
I don't.
immobilized automaton here.
That's what I was about to do, but I need to draw my weapon.
Yeah,
So that'll
Killian's
be...
kind of like looking at the bow.
Super glowing.
Yeah, but I was too close. I was too Killian, I was too close to it back over there, so I'm going to draw my weapon now and just wait.
All right, you got your
Yes,
bow out,
yeah.
ready to go.
That's my last action.
If you want, just for reference with the bow, for later on in the future, there is the short bow, which has no penalty for being up close, has less range, which hasn't been a huge factor for you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the cool deadly critical damage bonus.
You could carry 2 bows.
Just something to think about. Something to think about.
I will get a
Xander,
short bow
you're up.
soon.
Yay!
But,
Okay.
but not up. But I mean, it's your turn.
I'm prone.
Yes.
And conscious.
You spit out some brass bolts.
All right, so
You're next to the machine and the lever and the new formation of strange brass guardian that is starting up again.
different one. Okay, so I would like to, since I'm down and just looking, can I do a perception roll on the lever to see how it's working?
Yeah, absolutely. Make a perception or crafting roll. Probably should have made that enough.
That sounds neat. I'm gonna roll perception real quick. Just take a look at it real quick. 16.
16. You see no function of any latch or pull or what it's connected to.
It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will. The frozen automaton behind me.
Totally within reach of its weapon, yes. Continue.
Great. And on the flip side of me, that's the machine.
Yes.
That is whirring. It's doing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's cranking away.
You see weird little cogs and gears moving around. It makes that little whirring noise like you're talking about, yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw fire into that.
Yeah. All right.
Now we're talking.
What kind of fire are you doing?
So I'm gonna use.
It's produce flames or burning hands, I think, are your two options.
There's a lot of people around me. I don't think I'm gonna do burning hands just yet, but I can absolutely do a produce flame.
Okay.
Just right where I'm at. So I will just. My hand will just glow with a bright orange. I will grab a big fist of fire and I'll toss it right into it.
All right. And you automatically hit. Just roll your damage. You're so close and it's not dodging in any way.
That is 8.
8 points of damage. You throw that in there. You throw the fire. There is a gout of flame that shoots out of it on the other side that you didn't create. And then the whole thing starts to slow down. And then it stops. The pieces that were right next to you and Iggy that were forming together to create another guardian fall to the ground. And the portcullis starts to slowly rise up a couple feet and then stops. The door you guys came in swings open slowly, and then the lever goes ka-chunk and moves a few inches. Just a few.
I did a thing.
Good job.
A thing has been done.
But what about the webbed automaton?
The web automaton, he's going to attack Xander, actually, is what's going to happen. He is still there.
He's immobile.
He is immobile, yes. He also is within like 5 feet of him and has a weapon that has a range of 10.
Can he use? What? Hold on.
Oh.
Wise.
Is that an effect?
Yeah, immobilized just means he cannot move physically,
Right.
location. So he's just going to make multiple attacks on Xander, and I don't think he's going to need them, as he just rolled a natural 20 on his first hit.
Oh, dang.
Xander, with his back to him, proudly says, I did a thing! And you get hit with this weapon, which also has the deadly critical bonus. This is like triple deadly. Oosh. Oosh. Here comes the pain. He does 22.
Well, that was a waste of a heal.
22. I didn't think wrong. Points of slashing damage. You are knocked down unconscious again.
I only got so many of those.
You are dying. Since you were wounded, you start at dying 2.
Ooh.
And since a critical sent you into there, you're at dying 3.
Oh, God.
All right. It's a comfortable place.
I just wanted my turn.
It then spends 2 actions hacking away at these tendrils as it's trying to get towards Iggy, but it can't quite get there.
Okay.
Wasting its turn. Good tangle. That is it. It is Jix, your turn. You're still underneath this thing.
I am.
The blood of Xander dripping off its weapon onto your chest.
That tastes like gnome blood. I pop up out. No.
Surprise!
Has he? So has. I take. Yeah, I do. I pop up.
He's doing the list with out of character comments.
I pop up with sickle in hand,
Okay.
and I look up above me and say, "Surprise, motherfucker!"
Okay.
And whack at this automaton with
All right.
my sickle.
That will be all 3 of your actions to do all of that. However, he is beyond flat-footed, so we will give you a huge +3 to hit him.
All right.
This is your first sickle attack, maybe? Possibly.
Well, and
Yeah, this
in the
round.
reboots,
All
sure.
right. Good luck.
13.
13, you swing and scrape armored
You
gonads.
said +3?
Yes.
16.
Same effect. You scrape, and what's your damage? Curious.
2.
2! You do so little damage to it, it's embarrassing. You boldly do this huge heroic maneuver, and nothing came of it, sadly. Iggy,
Shit.
you're covered in the dust of brass and animatrons all over you. What would you like to do? This thing is just pulling hard to get free of these strands to get
I'm
to you.
gonna smack my fist on the machine. Kill this! And then I'm going to sudden charge the automaton that just
Attacked. All right.
Yeah.
You jump over Xander's dying body and throw yourself at this creature. Go for it.
is he's flat-footed, so I get a plus bonus on this.
Yes, +2.
Ooh. 12.
12 is a miss.
Yeah.
You have 1 more action left.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna try, since I've been pretty successful in killing these. I'm gonna recall knowledge on this bastard.
Oh, all right. You make an Arcana roll.
Oh, my specialty. A 6.
Okay. They taste coppery.
Yep.
They're brassy.
There is a blast of sonic sound that hits
No.
Iggy. Make a fortitude saving throw.
A 26.
You take no damage whatsoever. Wow, that's 2 criticals in a row, I think, for you with this. At the other end of the scale, it doesn't matter what you roll, Xander. You are now at dying 4. If you get to dying 5, you are dead.
Oh, God.
Wow.
You stop moving up on the dying level.
Trying.
At the end of the round and start of a new round, Killian, you watch the north wall. There are no sounds emanating from any of the pipes. And it is your turn.
What to do?
I have an idea.
Killian will call upon the goddess Carahel to prevent his faithful companion Xander from dying
All right.
an untimely death.
I hear you eye rolling, calling on Garahel.
Oh, Carahel, save the gnome, and will stabilize.
Stabilize him.
Yes.
Not burning the heel, but stabilizing
Correct.
him. Okay. You have been stabilized. Good news, you lose all of the dying condition. Bad news is your wounded level goes up to 2, making you more vulnerable to further knockdowns. Yikes. And again, anyone listening, we do dying at 5 as death as a house rule for how we're handling wound and all that stuff. We're ratcheting up damage in one way and just tuning around a little bit.
And I will, because I have
One action left. Yeah.
I will recall knowledge.
Okay. Arcana roll, I believe I said. No, Arcana or crafting.
We're going to go with Arcana. Total of 20.
Total of 20. You glean a piece of information. You have heard about such things as this. You believe you need to take this creature down to half its health or deliver a critical hit to remove a huge chunk of its protective armor.
Okay.
And Idrisil, you have your bow out, I believe, now.
Idrisil has his bow grasped, his head's down, his eyes are closed. He marks in his mind the prey.
Okay,
of
marking the prey.
Tangled brass structure, and he looks up. His eyes are now glowing red. And he shoots this thing with a 100 shot.
Okay.
With a +8. Once again. Ooh, yeah, that's a 23 to hit.
And you get +2. He's immobilized.
That's a 25 to hit.
25 to hit is a hit.
Is that not critical?
No.
All right, well, that'll be 14 points of damage.
14 points of damage. You really?
Yeah, 2d.
Oh, because of the magic bow.
Because of the magic bow.
14 points of damage. You hit your arrow. You know it's going to bounce off, but then it goes through. Yeah, your thought is my thought. Oh, really? It went in. And you see it sticks in. You actually did some damage to this sucker. Nice. You have another shot coming.
I have another shot.
It's harder each shot, though.
+5.
Don't forget it's immobilized still.
That's a 23 again, +2, 25 again.
Wow, that's a hit. What's the damage?
Ooh, that's a 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. You hit the creature again. You have 2 actions left. No, you have 1 action left.
Does not some of that armor then fall off?
Nope.
Oh, God.
Wow.
I'm just going to shoot at it again.
So it's not even down to half.
We're just going to shoot it again. This time, it's only a +2. 16 to hit.
16 to hit
It's
is
still immobilized.
what you're told.
18 to hit.
Makes a difference. Jix, I gotta say, sometimes you just like, oh, I'm not doing a lot of damage. And then sometimes just
come
the
in clutch.
edge makes the difference. That's a huge immobilized. You hit him.
All right.
Magic bow in hand.
That's 7 more points of damage.
7 points of damage. It
how many?
bounces off of it.
Okay.
Oh.
And I have one more. I have one more move here, right?
Mark, shoot, and then
Last
you just
one? Okay,
shot.
that's one.
Yeah, you're
That's
good.
one.
You're
Cool.
done. You did some damage though.
How many points total was that?
25.
Xander,
Yeah,
you're
14.
alive. No, you're stabilized. You get to not play the game at all, I'm afraid. Next up is the Brass Guardian.
It might be safer that way.
It has 3 attacks. It's going to start at 11 o'clock and swing around and hit all 3 of you as best it can. So it swings at Jix with its first big hit for a 19 to hit.
Ooh, that does.
Jix has been sliced, but huge 11 points of slashing damage. Still on your feet?
Yeah.
2.
It then uses that momentum because the glaive has a forceful bonus to do bonus damage on subsequent attacks, and it swings that in a circle coming around towards Iggy for 20 total to hit.
Hits.
And you get hit for 9 points of slashing damage.
Leaving him with 11.
And it keeps that even more forceful damage swinging around towards Xander.
I feel better.
He stands up.
I feel happy.
With a 12 to hit.
That does not hit.
Oh, dang. The first time, a tuft of hair from behind you goes flying off. What's happening? Jix.
Hell.
What do you? Oh, and it still is attached. It has one. It's still attached
Yeah, it
by the
did not
tentacles. Yeah,
detach itself.
it's
So
just
it's
going around like a Cuisinart attacking everyone.
Jix shit takes out
Jix is like, I thought this battle was over 2 turns ago.
Did I not just shave your ashes or what?
he takes an elixir of life out and knocks that back.
That's 2 actions.
That's 2 actions. And then with his other hand, with the sickle still in it, drives the sickle into the back of the automaton.
All right, and I'm imagining those are all happening at the same time. Like you're just chugging and swiping at the same exact.
Exactly.
So is that flanking then as well?
You can only be flat-footed 1
Okay.
level, so you get a +2 to your sickle.
I tried.
Are you looking up the elixir of life?
Yeah, 1d6.
1d6.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
6.
Full heal on that potion.
That's back up to 8.
Yeah, and then with my sickle. Oh no.
Did you give him a waxing this time? What's going on? What was the roll?
It was a 2.
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to think if I want to use a hero point. I do. I want to use a hero point.
Okay.
Last session left.
Rolling a second time by burning that hero point.
There we go. 17 plus 6? Yeah. Is 23.
That's a hit. Roll your damage.
So that's 4 damage.
All right. You glance off and do no damage whatsoever.
Mother!
Was that your max damage?
No, almost.
All right.
but-
All right. Okay. It is
That was not a good idea.
Iggy's turn. Iggy, you are feeling angry at getting hit. Your friends are getting hit. You're feeling emboldened by your destruction of these other 2 brass guardians. By the way, that has caused you to gain 1 hero point.
Oh,
Nice.
perfect. I'm gonna attack this thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna use that hero point. Awesome. 27.
27 is a critical hit.
Nice.
Its armor is now shattered regardless of what you roll.
That would be awesome.
Extra 20 points of damage.
19 points of damage.
19 points of damage. Its armor absorbs a good section of that. You shear it off. Chunks of big plates come off. It's now like this frail little skeleton of brass still hanging in there. Kind of like Ultron when he first appeared at the Avengers. Boy, I'm really nerding it out. All right, keep going, Higgy.
Yay, sports!
I'm gonna swing at it again with
All right.
a penalty.
And don't forget, you do get the +2. He's
Yep.
mobilized.
Perfect. A non-natural 20.
Is a hit.
14 points of damage.
You may take it down.
Oh, nice. So
Nice work, Iggy. I'm glad I got it. I got it loose for you.
I just plunge my sword into his guts, all the gears, and they just start
Oh.
blowing apart.
Okay. Boom! There's a 3rd explosion of brass and stuff. Everyone ducks as Iggy has slain a 3rd one.
Idrisil catches one of the arrows that flies out.
I pick up 1 more brass cog.
The machine starts again. No.
That wasn't so hard.
Right? We did fine.
Iggy,
He's safe from near the grave.
Jix walks over to that lever and now tries to
Wait.
move the lever.
Wait. Hold.
You're being pulled back by your collar.
I want to see what this bitch does.
No, not
hold
just
off on
yet.
Idrisil would like to say something. I was just going to do an action. I'm just going to say something. I think we should stuff some of the debris in these pipes.
For shrapnel?
I think since the machines, they haven't hurt us since the machine shut down. But I feel like the first thing we should do is get our poor gnome friend stay not dead.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's put that to a party vote.
we could do a group heal, but I'm just saying that Xander, he threw some fire in the pipe and it stopped.
What?
He threw fire into the machine.
In the
Yeah,
machine.
no, into the machine.
Yeah, okay.
So are you saying he's to blame for this?
We should stuff the machine full of debris.
It's up to you.
Thank you for not stuffing the machine full of Xander. That's what I thought.
Killian is taking this time to begin healing.
In what way?
With healer's kit.
Okay. You
Taking
get
the
up.
10 minutes.
You start spending about 10
And
minutes to
please,
heal.
no lever pulling for the next 10 minutes.
All right. Jix,
Jix, come over here and hold my hand.
Must touch the lever.
Jix,
Starts pacing.
Jix with his other hand that's
Oh,
not...
by the way, I almost gave Jix a hero point for not opening the chest down below labeled rats.
Right? Spiders.
Spiders with the
Yeah,
spiders?
spiders.
Jix with his free hand that's not being held by Iggy will spend 10 minutes to patch himself up.
Yeah. Okay. All
I
right.
wasn't sure where you were going to go with it.
That's true. I guess I could do the same thing.
Oh, are we not
and
doing
heal
are we not
myself.
doing a group heal?
No, that takes an hour.
Oh well, I have 8 hit points. So
Chloe,
I'll throw you.
let's figure that out,
I
guys.
throw you.
Good for you.
I throw you an elixir of life,
That'll heal you.
and I spend 10 minutes to heal myself 5
Same.
points.
All right. So did you want to drink that or save it?
I'm gonna drink it.
Okay. Sell it.
1d6.
It's a 1d6.
Anybody want to buy elixir?
Sell it right back to him.
Snake oil, anyone? 3 hit
All right,
points.
so there you go. You're living life. Okay, you guys spend 10 minutes and some healing is done to Xander, Jix, and Iggy. And you guys are still in this room. You can feel
How
the
much
cold.
did you heal, Iggy? 5?
You can feel the cold wind blowing in through that balcony outside. Who is right there? Xander, you are conscious, right? You have positive hit points.
Yes.
As you rise up, Killian, you see Xander rise to his knees. He shakes his head. He has found something else that he's pulled out of the debris. And you're like, oh God, what next? Xander,
Ooh.
you have found next to the machine some thieves' tools that someone had been trying to use on this machine. You now have thieves' tools.
Yeah.
I don't know what your thievery is capable of, but they're in your possession right
We're
now.
gonna make it better.
Oh, you don't want him, I do. Didn't downstairs the thing talk about thieves?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, it said all thieves are doomed.
Is he stuffing these tools in his pocket?
Yeah, don't let him see you with
I don't know what
those.
that means, though. very, very
Wow.
cryptic.
Iggy gestures towards the lever. Jix,
Yeah.
as you will.
Here we go.
He runs over like it's Christmas.
And he does the same move that he tried the first time. He just runs and flies
Throws right at it.
at the lever.
Unnecessarily. Okay.
Only one at max hit points, so go ahead.
All right, you throw yourself at it. Make an athletics roll, please.
22.
22. You throw yourself at it. You hit it square. The lever comes flying over. It's completely. Yeah, you go flying a couple feet across, rolling into some debris, and the lever goes chunk and goes to the far side. There is nothing that happens when you do.
Okay. That means there's a surprise waiting outside, I'm sure.
That or the
Then you feel a rumbling sound, and you hear like a stoned crunching sound and some sort of falling sound from outside. And then it starts to get very loud. You can feel the room just shake. Like
Well, is anything happening with the porch?
the balcony.
Yeah.
There's a porculus covering the top 2/3 of it. It's raised up a little bit.
Can I go over to it and lift it up?
Yeah, you go over to it, you start heaving up, it's loose, and you're able to lift it up, and you hear it catch on something, and now it's permanently up.
And then I go out on
All
the
right.
balcony and see what's going on.
Out there is a balcony. It's about, you're 50 feet up. This balcony has no railing of any kind. You can see the valley you're in with the cloud, the heavy cloud cover, the cold wind blowing against your cloak. You can see just below the balcony that just a half-constructed tower roof section is actually rising as a second tower is rising out of the ground. The whole ground shakes and shakes. This whole floor shakes. The whole ground of debris starts to shake, and you see this tower top coming up, very close to your tower as it rises up and starts to approach your balcony section, actually.
Well, this is cool.
And the whole thing continues to rise. Chunks of stone and dirt and debris that were clinging to it since it's been buried underground for who knows how long fall off. It looks almost identical to the one you guys are in, and is somehow being raised up out of the ground. It is also 50 feet tall and comes up. The pinnacle top of the tower comes up to your view by your foot, rises past your view, goes above you, and then a duplicate balcony with a small little walkway to span the two comes in right in front of you, Iggy, and the whole thing stops. The big there's the rustle of dirt and debris, and everything is just quiet from the wind again.
Guys, let's check it out. We just leveled up.
Yeah, I'll walk across the...
I have no more heals.
Well, doesn't hurt to check it out. We can always run.
It may hurt a lot.
We did say that about the caves. But I want to see.
Yeah.
Jix starts
Yeah.
heading into the other.
Xander
doorway.
follows Jix.
Okay. The two of them make your way across. The cold wind blows, almost kind of wants to blow you off these balconies. You have to do a little hop to get across, but it's safe enough.
Killian follows.
All right.
I imagine
Who's last?
Idrisil and Iggy.
Yeah, Idrisil was almost going to jump on the tower as it was rising. So yeah, he's already walking across.
Iggy, you are last. As you go across last, you do see on your balcony section, attached to the wall, is a small metal box about bread box sized and attached about hip level.
Oh, what's that?
It's a small metal box.
I want to go over to it and
He says
examine
as
it.
he walks over to investigate it.
Wasn't sure if that was the character.
You head over. There is a small latch that is on there that has a little cheap lock on it that looks very rusted.
Yeah, I'll take my dagger out and break it.
Okay, you break it with ease. You flip open the box with your face right there to see what's inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And inside
It's a boxing glove that punches out.
are the spiders from the chest below. Inside, you see there are a couple tools that have been stashed here for use on the balcony for some reason or another. You see there is a spyglass that is located here.
Okay.
And it's not the most collapsible thing, but there is a spyglass.
Okay.
You also see a handle device. It looks like a thick mace handle, but instead of a weapon at the end, there is a flame flickering at the end. And you're trying to figure out what's going on with this. And you have this weird metal torch that you see there. And then there is a strange stick that looks like a really thick piece of incense.
I want to look through the spyglass.
All right.
Is it just a spyglass?
You look through the spyglass. You look across the valley. You look at the other tower across the way. You look at the back of Idrisil's head. They all look normal.
Okay.
And fabulous.
Back of your head is ridiculous.
And then I'm gonna go with the mace flame thing and the incense in each hand to the rest of the group and be like, "Look what I found!"
They are ignoring you and they are entering the second tower.
I'll enter the second tower.
All right.
Running in.
Jix and Xander, you guys were first into the second tower. Xander, you grab onto Jix's collar and catch him from falling as this tower is completely hollow all the way down 50 feet. It comes right to an end at this balcony. You can see there is a not wide, but a long metal beam that stretches straight across from the balcony to the other side, a metal beam. Hanging from that is a thin piece of metal, maybe a staff width, that goes down a bit. and underneath that is a mass of gears that move around each other, forming a sphere in a completely non-mechanical way. It looks bizarrely magical. Metal gears of iron and steel and brass and copper, and they're all just connecting but kind of bending and curving to keep the spherical shape, moving amongst each other, kind of like a dance of living things, but it's mechanical looking, but it's not. It's very interesting, beautiful and bizarre, and it hangs about 15, 20 feet down from this top beam. Down below is, again, it just drops 50 feet. There's an open doorway. You can see light spilling in. There's a couple windows with some light spilling in, and that's what you see. What do you want to do?
Whoa. This must be the gears on the map.
But they're not. What are they doing? This is a magic set I've never seen before. Maybe.
Killian comes in, almost knocks the two of you off down into oblivion.
No, wait!
Looking at it, has Killian ever seen the like of this before? Is there
No.
anything in his experience, recalling knowledge?
Nope, you've never seen anything like this.
And it's just hanging by a rope?
No, it's hanging by a metal rod, like as wide as a staff and about 15 feet long. It's somehow attached to this beam in the middle, so it's essentially suspended in the middle of this tower. Killian and Xander and Jix, you're almost knocked in by Idrisil as he enters this area.
No, wait!
I don't have good luck with magical spheres, so
Okay, all right,
I'll just leave
that's
this one
true.
alone.
Idrisil takes a look at this thing and takes his bow out slowly.
Okay.
Killian backs away.
Killian, you back away, and you back into an excited Iggy who comes running in with two treasures in his hand, slamming into all four of you. I need all four of you to make reflex saving throws.
No, wait!
You're totally fine.
Perfect.
That's a 17 for me.
All right.
11?
All right.
But I was backing up.
No, that's great.
10.
10.
11.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Iggy, you slam into Idrisil, who slams into Killian, who was backing up. Killian, you slip and fall and get pushed a bit, and you do an America's Funniest Home Video on the beam and take 1 point of embarrassing bludgeoning damage. You are now straddling it, and you pushed Xander, and Xander, you go stumbling quickly out onto the beam, and you are now about 5 feet out, teetering precariously. When you did that, you hit Jix, who was in the front. Jix, you got hit and you slid off, and you did not land on the beam, and you have caught the beam and are dangling from the beam.
Little help here, guys.
Just pull yourself up.
Asshole.
Idrisil, being startled and stumbling, puts his bow away quickly and runs to grab Jix and puts his arm out.
You've got two people in the way of you.
Oh, they're in my way?
Yeah. Killian's
Push him off.
Move.
Killian's straddling it.
How wide?
Killian's nursing his balls that he just
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you know what I'll do? I will, we're all scrunched up together, so... Killian, grab Xander, Xander, grab Jix, and we'll all pull together.
No. And I'm still crawling away.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're crawling
like,
away from that chaos.
Well, trying to get back
what
onto
are
the
the
ledge.
dimensions of this thing? Because I can either push them out of the way or I can't. And
No,
if
no,
I
it's-
can't do that,
No, it's-
you can't move.
No, it's like half of a steel girder. It's like a balance beam.
Yeah,
Olympic
so
balance beam.
My idea is the only one that works. Just
Killian is crawling away to get out of that beam.
Well, no. I'm trying to like get back to the platform.
The ledge, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's away
okay.
from these guys.
Yeah.
Xander, what would you like to do?
Appear okay? I mean, other than the dangling.
He's dangling for his life, yes.
Jix, do you
Can
need
I
help?
Can I help? I
Give me your stinking hand.
I walk over to Jix.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him a sticking hand.
All right, so the two arguably weakest members of the party are now working together to haul Jix out. Idrisil, Killian has gotten out of the way. Did you want to do something to help?
yeah, I'm pushing
I
Xander
helped-
out of the way
I
now.
helped by getting out of the way.
I'm gonna push Xander out of the way. I'm gonna get on my stomach and I'm gonna reach for Jix and I'm gonna.
I'm
try to
holding
grab him.
Xander's
Yeah,
hand.
Xander's hand, and Xander's on a balance beam in front of you. If you
Can't-
push him
if
out
you
of
push
the way,
him out of the way, he's going
doomed.
50 feet down.
Well, then
to the
I'll grab
ground.
Xander.
Okay,
And I'll pull.
You grab onto Xander and pull. Then Idrisil, make an athletics roll. You get +2
Good.
from... Nope, actually don't roll that yet. I need Xander to make an athletics roll.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. That's 14.
14. Idrisil, go ahead and make a roll. You get a +1 for Xander's help.
That's a 12.
12. You pull and you pull, and the good news is that no one falls to their death.
Good.
The bad news is that Xander has now lost a bit of his footing, and Xander, you now slide down and slam your crotch into the beam. You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
I'm unconscious. No, I'm kidding.
He's dying. You're dying for. That'd be great. You guys are still all holding on to each other. Xander, you can make another athletics roll.
Okay.
This time with -1 due to your positioning.
Come on, you clowns.
Stop helping.
Stop helping.
10.
A 10.
So
all right.
-1, 9. Sorry.
Idrisil, you can try again. You get no bonus.
Yeah. So they stumble. Now with the other hand, I grab Xander. Go, come on, Xander. That's a -1, you said?
Nope, just normal.
Oh, just normal. Okay,
you're
with
normal.
athletics, that'll be a +21.
21. You are able to pull Xander to safety and Jix as well, and everyone is back onto the edge of the balcony. Let's see.
Okay, everyone, let's do this slowly.
Iggy then knocks you all back in.
Iggy, what are those?
I don't know, an eternal flame and some incense, or I don't know what to make of it. I kind of want to light the incense.
Let me smell it.
Maybe just put it in his pocket for a while.
I want to.
Put it up to your nose.
I just want to smell it and see what I can discern.
Where did you find those?
You would need 10 minutes to spend some time with this.
I'm just going to take this over here. Just give me
They
about-
were in a
spend some time alone.
they were in a box that you guys all
I'm gonna
walked.
need that flame too.
You guys all walked right by.
Just give me about 10 minutes.
Anyone got a blanket? Put it over me. Anyone like to party? Be cool, don't tell Iggy.
What side of the walkway was the box on?
It was on the other tower.
Was there one on this tower?
I'll look.
You
Because
look,
I didn't think about that.
you see there is no box. You excitedly run back to tell them there's no box.
No, nope, just on the other one.
I want to know what kind of magic does this with the gears. Do you think I could stand on top of it?
What kind of magic does this
About
with
9 more minutes, guys. That's all I need.
a flame that doesn't go out?
You cast spliff over there.
Yeah.
So much smoke.
What's the? Did you see anything in this?
There's a spyglass too.
Yeah. Did you see anything in there?
I saw the back of your head.
And
It's pretty. It's a familiar sight.
Iggy gets a little turned on.
Jick stops working and looks up.
Wait, what? Can I borrow that spyglass real quick?
Yeah, just give it back.
I take the spyglass and I use it to look down. I know it's only 15 feet away, but I want to get a closer look at the gears. So I want to look at the sphere
All right.
with it.
You're immediately disappointed because it's a kaleidoscope.
Oh, no.
just kidding.
There's so many.
You look through the spyglass. Make a perception roll with +3.
That's a natural 20, bringing it to a 26.
Don't need the total. 20 is a 20. Natural 20 is great. You can see contained within is a gear piece that is not connected to the rest of it that appears to be the nougaty center of this sphere of cogs that's all revolving, again, hanging, suspended by this pole in the middle of the...
Okay, there is one gear inside the rest that is a solitary piece that's not connected to the other ones. I think that's the gear we're here for.
Idrisil takes his bow out very slyly and just looks at Xander. One piece, you say? And I fake I faint. A strike.
He just sounds like one of those bad action movies where like he cocks his weapon 5 times in the scene.
You're right about that.
Keeps doing the thumb hammer on a sliding pistol.
No, I put it away.
Okay.
I hand the mace with the flame to you,
Okay.
To Killian?
to Killian, and then I'm gonna walk down the stairs.
So I have a flaming mace now, is that correct?
It's
just
like a mace handle,
with, like, some flame on it.
but there's no mace in it. It's just a handle. Like those industrial flashlights. What are they called? The big ones?
Mag light.
It's like a mag light, except at the end there's an Olympic flame at the end of it. And Iggy, you go to walk down the stairs, and Xander, again, you grab someone by the collar and you stop Iggy because there are absolutely no stairs.
Oh, I thought you said it
No!
was. Oh,
No.
sorry.
It's just a balance beam.
Yep. Want to try again, Iggy?
We might be
You
able
said
to
there
go.
was a door, though.
Down.
You have to go down the other tower,
at the
yeah.
bottom. And you can. There's nothing down there but just chunks of raw dirt and earth that have fallen through the windows.
I've got 2 ideas. My first is we balance and stand on top of the cogs, maybe. Sliding down the pole, I might be able to read its aura. We might be able to see what happens with it. There is a chance it might attack us and fight back. Second idea. We go down, trigger the lever on its way back, and let the tower lower itself to where we need it again to see if we can stop it at that point.
There's still going to be a 50-foot drop, or still going to be a drop. My idea was to go down there, and in case it falls.
But this doorway that we just walked into, if that's ground level, then it's not that much far of a drop anymore.
I don't think that lever is gonna cause that tower to retract back into the ground. I think once.
Hang on! And I start running out to go to the lever at the other side.
Okay. You run to the other tower, you grab the lever and you pull it, and it's just floppy and loose lever and doesn't seem to do it.
You're right!
Story of my life.
Let's pray to Kara Hill.
I come back a little bit despondent that the idea didn't work out.
All right.
6 more. Jix just needs 6 more minutes, guys. Keep going.
Maybe I can get on top of it?
That's what she said.
I was gonna rappel down with some rope, and see if I can. I don't really have an idea. I just want to get down there.
You could
And
go back
stop
through the
the-
other tower, walk back down, and then go through the
But
doorway.
that ruins. Then I have to talk to the sphere thing, and he doesn't like me because he's racist. And
Can I clarify something about the gear of spheres? Sphere of gears? The
Yes.
sphere gear?
Yes.
Is it moving? It is moving, is that correct?
The overall sphere is not moving. The gears around that make up the shape, yes, they're all moving around, creating this
it's like
shape.
a nucleus.
But not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
all in teeth, it's this mass.
Yes.
That's moving. Okay, that's what I just wanted to confirm.
Like it's a shell of cogs and stuff that are rotating, but they're also kind of bent around to create that sphere shape. But they're not all maintaining their own shape as they move around at different times. And then every so often in between, when you saw that spyglass, you could see between cogs, there's this other shape in the middle of a suspended gear.
How is the pole attached? The one that's attached to the beam. They're on a 15-foot pole. How is that attached to the beam?
There is a small pin-like attachment there.
Uh-huh.
And how big is the sphere?
15
Oh.
feet in diameter.
Jesus Christ.
It's possible, like what we're thinking is not like we're not. It could just be a mechanism for the tower,
Yeah.
and not something that we could actually extract. It's just something to consider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I right?
So let's get this gear.
Am I right to be picturing that kind of thing from Game of Thrones? The intro, that spinning sphere, kind of like the Daily Planet globe, like the thing around it.
Daily
Kind of
Planet's a
thing,
great,
you know?
yeah, sure.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Or like the rings of Saturn or something. Okay, I'm just trying to visualize it.
I think, what if we disconnected the sphere from this beam and let it drop? What could happen?
We
Gotta
could
green thumb out from under the
also
blanket.
we could also fall to our
That just means he's done.
we could also fall to our deaths. I don't know.
That's
What
not
could
his
happen?
thumb.
I think you're right, Xander, but
I have these fancy little tools. I haven't even gotten to use them yet. But I think with these, or maybe with the tools that Iggy just found, we might be able to disconnect that beam, the pole from the beam, and just let it drop.
thus bringing the tower down.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How's Jix doing on that 10 minutes?
To what end?
Yeah, this definitely time has gone by. You may make a alchemy roll, please. An alchemy roll? You don't have alchemy roll. This would be.
How about
Arcana?
crafting?
I was thinking that. Make a craft roll because it's your craft.
You have a hero point for that.
I'm gonna use the other hero.
All right.
18.
18. You have identified this as a smoke stick. You spend an action to burn this, and it creates a 5-foot area, very small area of smoke to conceal someone or provide cover between line of sight. Just blocks vision a bit and makes it harder for people to strike through or into that.
I like it. I put it in my pouch.
Okay.
Is it single use?
It is single use only.
But
How about
experiment with it.
how about you take that and then you give me that potion you found? You found of the gnomes.
My oil of potency?
Yeah, you don't need that shit.
You don't know how much I need an oil of potency.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna just keep all the treasures.
No, it's a fair trade. Here you go.
You give him the
It's an empty bottle.
Yeah.
He drinks it quickly.
Thank you. Good trade to Tonka.
You will not use the answer the full quotes in our game.
Iggy liked
I'm just thinking of all the Dance of Wolves quotes I can think of right now. That's what I'm wasting my energy with right now. Damn it.
let's drop it. I like your idea, Xander. See what's the worst that can happen. We break it. No harm, no foul. Or
That's as far from the worst that can happen.
Killing keeps tapping on the E for empty on his chest.
Exactly.
Or we could go back down and talk to the Guardian. It's gonna give us a bunch of riddles and shit, but we've gotten further than anyone else has.
I say we drop the bitch.
Who's good at this? My idea. I don't know if I can actually make the tools work.
If you hand me the tools, I'll get the job done.
I could as well. I don't know what's your thievery?
I will be ready to grab you if you'd like, but I am a +4.
I'm a
in
plus
thievery.
6.
I don't know why thievery matters too much. We might need acrobatics and athletics.
Because we're trying to use thieves' tools.
We're
to
also balancing on a beam.
depend-
Wait, no, isn't the pin here at the end?
No.
The pin's in the center of the
Killing backs away even further. Good luck, boys.
Up and down, talking to the Guardian.
I will give you the thievery tools.
Jix takes the thievery tools, takes a rope, he ties it around his waist,
Okay.
and he hands the other end to
I'll take it.
Iggy.
Iggy will take
Good
it.
idea.
All right.
And I'll stand kind of at the edge, ready to assist on the rope.
And pulling
just
in if
as an
necessary.
Extra
All right.
hand, yeah.
So Jix shimmies out to the middle of the beam.
Very slowly, unheroically on his knees. All right. Don't rush me.
And then he gets to the middle and then kind of slides down serpentine style around this pole
Okay.
hanging down. Actually,
You've done that before.
head first. Yeah.
All right, so you're out on the middle of this beam, suspended 50 feet over the sheer drop of a tower inside. Underneath you, about 15, 20 feet, is this rotating sphere of weird cogs, magical stuff, suspended on a metal pole. You're now over that, and there's this weird pin thing that's right there on the beam, and you're now going to climb upside down the pole.
Oh, the pin is up
Attached
at the beam?
to the beam, yeah.
That's the beam.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, I'm just gonna
whole
lean
pole.
over then.
Okay.
Dun, dun.
You lean over.
I got
and
these thieves' tools that Xander loaned me.
okay, you start trying to use the tools, and they don't really seem to be helping you at all. You then are doing this weird, I'm almost hanging upside down with the rope inside the CIA computer Tom Cruise kind of scene moment. And with your hand, you put the thieves' tools away and break out some weird alchemy grinding tool, little mini hammer type thing you
Okay,
have, and
like
start
a
wedging.
mortise?
Yeah, and start wedging and pushing and doing little bits of hammering, whistling as you work, as you're doing it. You need to make a crafting roll, please.
17.
17. And Jix, you try and you start to see this weird pin start to move, and it gets to something where there's weight, but there isn't weight, and you're not sure what's going on. There's movement, and then it just gets stuck when it's halfway out, and you hammer and you hammer and you hammer. You can't get it out. You turn around and shrug and tell your buddies, it's stuck.
It's stuck.
And then the whole thing comes loose and comes crashing down.
I got it.
It comes sliding down. The pin goes flying out across the other side of the tower. The pole comes loose and immediately separates from the top and wherever it was attached magically to the bottom. So that pole is now just tumbling loose. And all of the gears and the cogs that were rotating, they all just immediately drop as individual little pieces. The topmost ones clanging and banging off of the floating clean piece that was in the middle, and it too drops and then falls to the ground, and everything crashes as though it was like some weird glitter ball or something like that. And it's New Year's Eve, and it all crashes and clangs to the floor in this big chaotic mess. And yeah, Jix is grinning there with his big snaggly teeth proudly. And the entire tower starts to shake violently and start to rumble and starts to lower back down into the ground.
Uh-oh.
The whole thing starts to do that. You see strange lights flickering in from the balcony opening and from the windows. It's black and white and black and white. It's disorienting. The whole place is shaking. Some more dirt starts to come. You can see the door at the ground floor starts to halfway disappear as it's descending back into the earth.
Iggy, drop me.
I don't know if that's a good idea, Eggs. Let's go
I'll
back
start
up.
lowering them.
All right.
50-foot rope.
Faster.
Enough time.
Well, you have control, Jix. You're about 30 feet out horizontally on this beam.
You can just jump.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Jix, with keeping an eye on that center cog, jumps off.
Okay.
And he's 30 feet away?
Yes.
Okay. Well, when he hits the ground, will he be 30 feet?
No, he will be 20 feet shy.
From
The
Killian, how far will he be?
Whatever that
30 feet.
math would
Is
be.
this starting to lower? I look at the three at Xander, Killian, and Idrisil, and I motion for them to jump back to the other tower.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
I
do the same
immediately
thing.
rush past him and I go.
All right, Killian, I assume you're first because you've been backing away every second
Yup.
throughout this entire exchange.
Watching from the other tower already. Is it working?
Killian, you back away and you head over to across this balcony, jump to the other one, and your stomach actually hits and you have to pull yourself up because you're lower. Idrisil, you're next. You have to jump up and grab on with your hands and you pull yourself up. Xander, you are.
I don't.
No, you
I-
haven't
I
rolled yet.
skidded.
You haven't rolled yet.
Oh.
Xander, you are running up to them and see, I'm assuming Idrisil lean back down and throw out a hand. You can make an athletics roll right now, Xander.
16.
16, you throw out a hand, you leap, you miss. Idrisil gets lower, you leap, you miss. Killian holds on to Idrisil, you leap, you grab onto his hand. And that's when you all hear inside the tower a goblin sound of whee! And you are now hanging, Xander, outside from the original tower's balcony as the second tower's balcony is dropping 10, 15, 20 feet below you. And they are pulling you up to safety. Jix, you are jumping off this beam back in the second tower, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you swan dive off. And the good news is you got this rope tied around you so you won't hit the ground. The bad news is there is pendulum swinging motion. As you jump out, you get swung right into the side wall. And Iggy, you can make an athletics roll to help try and minimize this by swinging him in a different type of direction.
8.
You succeed in delving in no way whatsoever. And Jix, you come swinging down and plant into the wall like a wily coyote, and you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. You splat against the wall. You hear a grunting noise beneath you, Iggy. And Jix, you are 20 feet below the tower floor, Jix.
Mm-hmm.
That floor, as everything is descending, that distance doesn't change because you're within the tower. Does that make sense? I want to make sure that's clear. It's a little weird.
The ground's staying where it is.
Yeah, the floor of the tower is staying where it's at as the whole thing is descending. So you're 20 feet shy. Did the rope let you go down? You have enough rope length?
Yep.
Lower me.
Yeah, I just started loosening the slack.
All right. You can really speed things up if you want, Iggy.
Okay.
Don't let go of the end.
How fast do you want to let him go?
Pretty fast,
Okay.
but I'm gonna make sure I don't.
All right,
go
make
the rope.
2-3
an
points of
athletics
damage
roll.
fast.
I'm gonna use a hero point.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna use another hero
You
point.
cannot. You
Okay.
must take the second
That was
roll.
a natural one.
Oh! You quickly.
They were both natural.
Oh, really? 1 and a 1.
Oh.
Confirmed fail.
You let go of the rope
It was destined to be.
and let him down quickly, and you go to arrogantly grab onto the end as it comes flying by to stop him right before he hits the ground, and it goes right through your fingers, and you're just like, oh no. And like 10 minutes later, the rest of you guys just see Iggy coming back. Now he didn't make it. He fell on his own accord. I couldn't stop him. We will miss Jix. Jix, you fall down and hit the ground 15. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Leaving him was 3.
3.
Do I see this cog?
You see the cog. Yeah, it has just lent its a gear cog like teeth imprints on your forehead. So yeah, it's right there.
Well, I found it.
And I take it and I want to throw it.
You grab the cog and you look up at Iggy and you see the end of your rope twirling down.
And then I immediately dropped my rope down.
Whose rope were you using to begin with?
Mine.
Okay.
Okay, so I see that.
You can also see the light from the windows on each floor, if you will, are
Right.
just getting darker and darker
Yep.
as this starts to descend.
Yeah, I stuff the
He'll
cog
walk
in
out
my
any second.
in my satchel, and I grab the other rope and I begin climbing it. Pull me up! So I'm climbing as Iggy is pulling at
Okay.
the same time.
Let's have Iggy make an athletics roll, followed by Jix, you making an athletics roll,
16.
and you get a +2 to that, Jix.
That's good. 8.
8 total. You say, pull me up, and you start heroically climbing yourself, Jix, and you're like, nah, this is just tiring. And you just kind of just flop there like a sleepy kitten and just let him pull you up. You just hung like a baby on a papoose.
I put my body through a
agree.
lot
He is
right
hung
now.
like a baby.
And you are pulling and pulling, and it's not fast going. The rest of you are on the balcony and can see this tower. 2/3 of it have already descended back down into the earth. And there's rough earth that's been thrown out. It's like a circular mound of broken debris and dirt clods and all that kind of stuff. The top balcony is about to start disappearing, and you don't see anyone coming out yet.
I'm sure they're doing just fine.
Anything you guys want to do? You're 50 feet up. I don't know if there's much you can do.
You two go. I'll see if I can wait for Iggy. Go talk to the sphere thing and get some answers.
Iggy, but the whole second, you're up here, the whole second balcony thing is about 40 feet below you.
I have a rope
Okay.
and an idea.
Like that. On call, I immediately start running towards the exit and start working my way down the tower.
Okay.
And sinking, right?
Yep.
40, 50.
Mm-hmm.
Not the
down?
first tower.
Don't. I wait.
Okay. You're waiting on the balcony.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
You got something, Jigs?
So the sinking tower, the door would now be underground.
Oh, it's way
It's way,
underground.
Yeah, the bottom door.
So
2/3 of that
Their only chance
is their
is closing.
balcony, which is
The window is closing.
reaching the ground and going below soon. Jigs, you had something.
Yeah, I take that phlegm that I coughed up earlier during sound check,
Okay.
and I get it out of my pocket, and I put it in a bottle and shake it real quick, and then knock it back.
You're mixing drinks while you're being
Yep.
dragged up. Okay. Yeah.
Knock it back, and you begin to see Jix turn into even more of a beast than he is already. Like you see muscles begin to pop out, and he just gets very like muscular and lanky, and his arms and legs are like just ill proportioned compared to
Okay.
the amount of
Popeye
muscle mass he
effect.
has at this point. And he begins just to climb up the wall, like with the claws that have grown out of the ends of his fingers.
All right.
Just climb up the wall.
You've morphed yourself with your own crazy alchemical potion. You may make an athletics roll, please. And you get a bonus of +1 from your potion.
13, 14, 18.
18. Iggy, you see your friend is climbing and climbing on the walls in some strange, weird, demonic-like way, and you are pulling with the rope aggressively. You may make an athletics roll, and he just gave you a +3 to that roll.
I'm gonna use my last hero point. Thank you. 27.
Whoa!
What was the first roll?
It was a one.
First roll was a natural 1.
Oh my god.
Wow. All right. With a 27, heroically, you pull and yank and are able to get this crazy clawing goblin up. And I'm going to imagine Jix sometimes has trouble rationalizing who's friend and enemy sometimes when he's in this bestial mode. You yank him up. Jix, you're right there. He's the Tasmanian devil. And you yank him up, and you've got him there, and you can see your balcony opening start to get dark as the ground is rising up as your balcony is disappearing.
Is he still the same size, or is he a lot bigger?
He's the same height, but
Okay,
he's not
I'm
the
gonna
same
just-
size.
I'm gonna grab him, and we're gonna just Indiana Jones our way through this. Just jump.
Okay,
Just
you guys jump. You jump first, Iggy. You grab and pull because she's like trying to go back down into the tower. And Jix, you go jumping through. I need you to make one more athletics roll, Jix, and don't forget your +1 from your bestial mutation.
15.
15. You are able to jump and get through, and everything is fine. You guys are on both sides, breathing heavily, And then, Iggy, you notice there's one problem. The middle 30 feet of rope are still back inside the tower, and the balcony has now disappeared, and the whole thing is continuing to descend down in. So there's an end attached to Jix, and there's an end that you are holding on
I
to.
just take my dagger out and cut them both.
Both the rope and Jix?
No. Actually, yeah, I'll just take my sword out and like cut both things that are attached to us at one time.
You start hacking away, and it is done. You guys see your friends.
That thing is attacking.
You see your friends come out of the base of the tower with Idra still looking down from above, still, I believe, at the balcony. The second tower now rests and comes to a stop, and the ground shakes violently one more time as the pinnacle top of the tower now rests partially submerged again and within the ground.
Jix just pulls the cog out of his pouch. He's like,
I need Idrisil to make a survival roll, please.
That's a 6.
6.
Yeah.
Okay. You get lost on the way down. No, you're good.
I can't see anyone.
Carry on. What would you guys like to do?
oh no.
So
That is not good.
I feel like two drakes are about to appear.
Whatever just happened, like a shadow flew over.
I'm gonna turn around and walk towards where I told Killian and Xander to go.
Back down the tower.
Yeah.
Okay. All 5 of you have gathered down at the outside base between where the 2 towers are at. You walk through the couple chambers on your way up the first tower. You walk through the weird shadowy keeper was not to be seen.
Any books in that library now that have any value? Killian will spend a minute or 2 in there.
Oh, yeah.
so will Xander.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys can spend some time looking for books. Make society rolls.
While they are being bookworms, Jix
9.
demutates and spends 10 minutes to kind of heal himself up again.
Okay.
It just looks like he's looking for books, but he's really looking for the spherical ghost-like creature thing. He's just checking, opening books when they see if anything pops out.
Killian, you find several great books, but every time you grab one, it shreds apart into a million pieces of dust particles. Xander, you are able to find an interesting book on the history of the, where was it at? History of the Chelor sovereignty, and particularly about their late politics. Whether or not that's of interest to you, you think it might sell for a few gold coins of value. And yeah, you guys have spent some time there. Jix, you spent some time healing yourself up.
I do the same thing.
Iggy, you're doing the same thing.
Hey there, Trickster Jixter here. I'm running low on fire bombs. Help me fry my enemies to a crispy golden brown by going to patreon.com/ingloriousbarge and donating to the cause. Now hold on while I pour glue in Killian's favorite book.
As you guys wrap up that book searching and healing, Idrisil, you can see from the sky from the cloudless warm sky above, you can see a beam of light appear. Perfectly clear blue sky, and a golden beam of light comes down. And it's not just it appears naturally, you can actually see it arriving. And it arrives about 50 feet away from the tower and touches the ground.
I walk up to it, take out my baby lion, and hold it up for all of the pride to see. No, I tell Xander and I tell the group about the guys. A ray of light
come to see us.
disappeared. Killian, this seems like your area. Xander, any books say anything about a ray of sunshine dropping down?
Oh, yes. In fact, there's several. There's one instance where I can think of
Killian's walking towards the light.
All right. Killian always walking towards the light. Yeah, you walk towards the light, Killian. The rest of your group was putting away their healing kits, and everyone's at least stable and ready to go do something. Killian, as you walk towards this light, you see the shape of a humanoid form within that light.
Here, hell, take me.
You prostrate yourself before.
My job here is done on Earth.
You see there's a humanoid form of a shimmering figure, about 7 feet tall, standing in the light, maybe perhaps waiting in the light.
I walk up next to, but kind of behind Killian.
Bravely behind the cleric.
Just trying to see.
I only
If
have
it's
6
trying
hit
to
points.
Killian, how's that 13 armor class working for you?
Yeah, right. Can Killian divine anything from what he's seeing?
Sure, make a religion roll.
21.
You are absolutely confident there is nothing divine about this in any way.
Uh-oh. This is not of a religious nature.
Can we tell?
Killian backs
not to be on PC. Can we tell if it's a man or a woman? Is it just a human-like kind of ghost figure? How corporeal
Good question.
is it?
Yeah, you guys are about 40 feet away. It is 50% opacity.
Okay.
I've been doing too much Photoshop. And it is human, very human-like, but slightly elongated features. So the arms are just slightly longer. The neck is slightly longer. It appears to be more male in general shape. No hair. The face is tight and gaunt. It's almost like a tall, stretched, regal elf, but not at the same time. Elves have more grace than this figure. And this figure also has the trappings of pieces of golden armor around it that kind of sparkle a bit, but still translucent.
Xander heals it.
All right.
Keep an eye.
Okay. The figure, seeing you do that, steps out of the lights about 10 feet, and it appears to be using the terrain in movement, but it's not really affecting it. The grass doesn't move with any footstep or anything like that. The steps are purposeful and strong steps, and this person says nothing.
Can I prepare an action?
You sure can.
The action will be Divine Lance if the creature takes any aggressive action.
Sure.
I step out from the crowd and move forward towards it. In a diplomatic, as much as a gnome can be, like fashion.
If you're 6 hit
Also-
points and 3 wounded condition,
Also
good
attempting
idea.
to, very wounded, very limping perhaps, but trying to also be purposeful and somewhat mimicking the I am important.
Make a diplomacy roll for just overall appearance as you walk.
13.
13.
Lowest roll of the day.
Jix wants to pull out his sickle and start digging the grave for Xander.
Here's where he died.
A very small hole.
Yeah, for what will
Find
be
some
left.
wood and fashions a cross.
Hail, traveler. We are defenders of Edlin Home.
He can't quite hear you, it seems.
Hail, traveler. We're defenders of Edlin Home.
Is it looking at us, through us, at one of us?
It has focused its attention on the person who is way closest to it, which is Xander, and it speaks to you, and it's kind of a weird, a ghostly, reverberating style voice, and you can't quite hear it from your short range of just 20 feet away.
I get closer.
Okay.
Can I recall knowledge on this?
On this
On this thing?
You
Or try to?
You have never seen anything like this for sure. Okay, Xander, you get close. The being speaks to you, and you can hear it. I am surprised in your effectiveness.
We are a very resourceful group.
That is not...
I know
What-
I'm asking.
Hold on. That is not what color led me to believe. But I am glad to see you have accomplished acquiring the gear.
How are we to use this gear?
That will be beyond your capabilities. You have done enough. You have failed at the farms, but at least you have been successful here.
Where do we return this gear to?
Return it back to the farms. They are waiting for you there. Time is everything, so don't delay long.
My eyebrow twitches, and I realize what just happened in my head. Do I still need to speak to the Swamp Witch?
He says, time is everything. And he turns around and you see he's speaking to someone else, but you can't hear what it is. And he walks into the light and fades away. The light then recedes back up into the sky. And I'm going to give him one more shot. Idrisil, make a survival roll.
It's a total of 20.
Okay. As the light recedes into the clear blue sky, Idrisil, you kind of furrow your brow and realize this isn't right. Because when you left, it was very cold and cloudy, and it is now a clear blue sky and warm out.
Could I hear the conversation they were having?
Not at all. Xander returns. You guys all eager to hear what he has to say.
Yes. You are.
It worked! He thought I was Valeros.
Vargalos?
That one! The other gnome! He thought it was me!
Well, it's a good thing the name didn't come up in that conversation.
Yeah, that one!
He was acknowledging my success, but mentioned that there was a failure at the farm. He also said that I should return the cog to the farm, where they are waiting for us.
Did anyone else feel the change in pressure and
Oh, that's what that
and
was.
temperature? It's quite a nice day now, but it was a bit daunting when we arrived before the light appeared.
Well, weather patterns as they are often will change with the front.
We don't need your religion here.
So we can have that debate later, Greta.
It's science, damn it.
What exactly did the light say?
He said 3 things. 1, he did not expect us to succeed. 2, this was a success, though the farm was a failure. And 3, they are waiting for us to return the cog to the farm. I asked him if I needed to still visit the Swamp Witch, and all he mentioned was that time is of an essence.
Pull out your map.
Did he mention anyone else?
No.
Like another name, perhaps?
I didn't-
Of someone that maybe thought that we would fail and not be resourceful?
That would have been a good question.
That maybe came up in the conversation. No? Okay.
It felt unnatural while he was here. You would think a figure coming out of a beam of light would be a nice guy, but I'm not getting that impression.
Well, if he's working with Vargalos, we're certain.
Working with Vargalos, it's a very... I don't want to say Carahel, but it's a very religious thing to appear in a beam of light
It
with
was
weird
not a
clothes.
religious or divine creature at all.
Okay.
I will get the impression that Vargalos may have been working for him, her, them. I don't know.
Him, I believe.
Q.
So I guess the point is we shouldn't take this cog gear piece back to the farm, correct?
We can't.
So what do we do with it?
Unless we want to find out who they are and try to deal with them.
Jix, can I see that gear?
Sure. Here you go.
Nobody's really taken a look at it yet.
All right.
So I want to.
All right, you grab it. It's a little sticky and smells like patchouli, but yeah, he gives it back to you.
No.
Is there anything like? Can I make a roll, or is there anything crazy about, like, weird about it that isn't? It's not just the gear.
It's clean and shiny and seems resilient to debris and dirt. And Xander just keeps pointing at it every time you're trying to touch it, saying it's magic.
Magic! I did the thing! When you're done with it, I'd like to see if I can try to read aura on it. It'll take me a little bit. Do you have that blanket still, Jix? I can sit under for about 10 minutes?
Jix takes the blanket and kind of waves it out.
Still a little soggy.
What time of day is it right now?
It is morning time.
Okay.
It was not
Busy morning.
Mm-hmm.
It was not morning when you guys got there.
Oh, dun dun dun.
So we think
You were right.
it was the Wheelers all along. So we think Vargalos is working for the light guy, but the witch is an enemy of Vargalos? Is that
No.
where you're leaning, Xander?
All that he mentioned was that time was something.
It's getting more vague as time goes by.
Money of the essence.
Maybe if we sit here for a while.
When I was trying to see if there's anything important, there was someone else in the light that he spoke to. I didn't see them, but he spoke with them for a second before he walked back into it. I didn't hear any of that, but he did say that time was of essence. I think it was essence.
So he was talking to someone else.
Yes, and had no comment about the swamp witch at all.
It seemed like the swamp witch was at least amenable to communication with Vargalos if he was getting potions from her. Maybe not an ally as such, but at least,
Definitely not an enemy. I don't like the look. I don't like the feeling of this.
Hey, give me a minute while I go look at this gear for a little bit, and I'll start glowing in the lavender. Not quite purple, but like a lighter purple. And start reading the aura.
You spend some time. You cast
You're
read
going to go
aura.
blind if you keep doing that.
You
How long does that take?
doesn't take long. I think it's just actually might take a while. An hour or 10 minutes?
So casting is for a minute.
So a minute, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Can I request an hour group heal?
Yeah, I would like
Spell?
one too.
All right.
Let's take a rest and reconnoiter.
While we're
and
having this conversation, I
Sure.
guess. Having
It's
focus
nice
on
and pleasant outside. So yeah.
the artificial.
that. I start making grass angels.
All right, you guys spend an hour to heal up and rest and relax.
the alternate universe we're now in.
Everyone heals 7 hit points then. And Xander, during that time, you cast Read Aura on the gear. You are able to identify that it is magical and it is made of conjuration magic. Conjuration spells transport creatures via teleportation, create an object, or bring a creature or object from somewhere else to follow your commands.
I got it! This is a conjuration spell magic.
What's that mean?
In general, it can call things to you, it can bring things around for you, or it can make stuff out of it with it. In general, this may have been a thing that was conjured from something directly.
So this thing creates other items of magic?
Or was created from said magic. Also, it seems kind of powerful.
Yeah,
So what are we gonna do with it?
well, whatever we do, don't let Jix hold it anymore.
Why?
It's just a feeling I have.
Is there a place where it can be secured? Azamir, I know, has some amazing vaults for magical items like this one, but they're very far away.
Karahel has the Temple of Karahel has some artifacts that are well guarded.
Could you get it into the temple without anyone knowing? I don't know if we should trust it to anyone at this point, including the high priests.
I would.
Them more than anyone else, but still not them.
It is not something I would feel comfortable doing now.
Right.
I want to place this nuke inside your basement, please.
No reason.
Iggy, what about Queenly? She's used to holding her balls for you.
Don't be jealous.
No jealous.
I think for now, it's probably safer with us than
Of course.
anywhere else.
Jix wants to try and recall if he would know anyone or of anyone in Mirskan who could help with this cog.
That could help with the cog.
As far as knowing a little bit more about it, what it is, how it's used, what should be done with it, something like that.
You may make a society roll.
I will make a Mirskan City lore roll.
Oh, yeah. You got Mirskan City lore, even better.
17.
17. You do not know of anyone in Mirskan, but you know of someone who left Mirskan years ago that you were told if you needed anything weirdly identified or helped out in that way where you were headed towards Edlin Home, you should go seek out a wizard by the name of Gabe who lives somewhere in Edlin Home.
Well, guys, I heard one time there's this wizard named Gabe.
Old man Gabe?
You know him?
Old naked man Gabe?
He's the worst.
Not the good. Not he's. I
Well,
mean, you know.
He's so grumpy. I tried learning magic from him when I first started getting my things, and he did nothing but make me polish.
Before I left Mirskan to come this way, I was told that he could be a good resource in helping me identify things. I'm just passing it along.
You can usually tell how good a wizard is by his name. You know?
What are you saying there, Vagisil?
Just saying, you know.
They call me Tim.
He does have an interesting point.
If there's like a, the wise or, the great Gabe the Great. Maybe. But if it's just, hey,
I think
Just
it's
an unpleasant fellow. That's
I
all.
think it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
He also has an almost entire room full of things. He doesn't use them, he doesn't play with them, he just hoards them all over the place. He might actually know something about this one.
I've heard he's got a closet full of robes and he can't decide on
Yes.
any of them.
That's also true. It smells so bad in there, you guys. It's the worst. You take it.
So let's head
I like that option.
Yeah.
let's head back to Edlin Home then and talk to the wizard.
All right. You guys head out and head back to Edlin Home. You travel for 2 days without incidents. You are able to heal your hit points. Anyone who is wounded loses 2 levels of the wounded level with our house rules. That still leaves Xander with 1 wounded level.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's the most we've ever had. You guys travel through the ravine, staying well away from the 3 faces in the side of the mountain. Go across.
I want to go in the face of agony. It looked like fun.
You go across grassy hills, through small little glades of trees, make your way towards Edlin Home. You're heading towards the main road just north of Edlin Home as you're making your way south. You can see off in the distance, barely there, is the shape of Bottom Hill, some distance off. It's not directly on your path, and can see it looks oddly different.
Define odd.
There's a irregular shape that you can see there, like a wagon or something.
Can I use my newly acquired spyglass?
Yeah.
Gesture to you to do that. Yes.
You get out your spyglass and take a look. You can see at Bottom Hill Farms, where you were at 1 or 2 sessions ago, the middle farm of the Malin farm,
The people who were murdered.
has been completely replaced by the bottom 20 feet of a stone tower.
Mm-hmm.
You can see there are multiple cranes. There are about 15 to 20 people working there. There are multiple wagons. It is a ton of action and motion and energy going on at that place.
Is there anyone near us on the road by way of like a guard or a wagon that we can see
Nope.
in our path?
You've seen no one else.
I say we give this town a wide berth as we head back. Maybe don't even take the main trail.
Yeah, let's not be spotted just yet.
Yeah. Being far enough away that he's using the spyglass, I'm kind of taking that as our
Your limit?
distance
Yeah,
limit.
What I don't want to happen is someone encountering us along the path that might detect that we have this.
Yeah. Ask us if we have the sphere with us and
Okay.
No.
All right.
fail our deception checks.
So you guys still heading to Edla home, but going a wide berth of the Bottom Hill Farms area.
Yeah.
Okay.
I start disguising myself as
And speeding up a little bit, I like
gnomes.
feeling a little sense of urgency now.
Okay.
Yeah, I have kind of a sidebar question about the hunt prey. If I hunt prey on something and I inspect it or
Recall knowledge.
recall knowledge or something, do I get any advantage bonus to that?
I believe that's one of the ranger bonuses you did not take.
Okay.
Let's double check it real fast. Hunt prey. Doesn't see no creature. You gain +2 bonuses to perception checks when you are trying to find it in the darkness or type things. +2 bonuses when you're trying to track it, and you ignore the second range penalty. That is what you get. I think there was you went with rapid fire, and I think there was a different build that lets you recall knowledge.
Sorry for...
That's all right. Okay. You guys, with a little bit of alacrity, move through the woods and approach the town not on the road, and you return to Edlin home. It is the same cozy, warm place you love, for those of you who live there. I think Jix is the only one who doesn't.
Don't. Yeah.
There is the main road that comes through the town alongside the river. You have all the standard places there. There's a few shops, a bunch of homesteads. There's the Thankful Lodge. Across the pond is the Ember Lantern. There's the temple. You can barely see its topmost little steeple thing sticking out of the trees in the forest to the west. There's a couple people walking along the road, and that's what you see. Where are you headed?
What time is it?
At this point, let's say it's late afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock.
Go see Gabe.
Heading to Gabe's.
We should go to Gabe first, and then maybe after that,
The mayor?
if we, when we separate for the night, talk to, is it Mabel, the owner of the lodge?
Oh,
Cyril?
Cyril.
Talk to them. I'll talk to Portmer. I want to see if anyone older than us and the older generations knows anything about this tower, about the goblins, about the ravine of agony and all this.
What about goblins?
Gnomes, you mean?
The gnomes, building the tower. Just
we're not
kind
the
of.
same.
I want to.
We're not the same. I just
Don't ever insult me like that again.
I want to. I just want to throw that out there. I'm going to be asking Portmer about his past experiences to see if there's any.
And I think we need to
about
talk
this
to
sphere.
we talked to the mayor here before. Yeah,
Yeah,
we know the mayor.
black.
Yeah, we're pretty close
Yeah,
to the mayor.
find out why they're
Toasted
building a
you guys.
tower.
But let's go to Gabe
Yeah.
first. Let's
Gabe,
go
and
to
then
Gabe's
I want to
tower.
go talk to the mayor about this tower that they're building.
Okay.
And see-
Yeah.
Jix is
Let's do
about
it
to knock
regular.
on Gabe's door.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to talk to Gabe.
Killian averts his eyes.
Okay, so where are you headed first?
Gabe's tower.
So where's this Gabe guy at?
He's up there. He's up north. That's his tower that's falling
To the
apart.
far east of town is where Xander points. You can see there's the road that heads out, and it is on a plateauish cliff. Idrisil's laughing for some reason. I don't know why.
What is?
He said north, you said east.
It is to the northeast. And on this little raised cliff, there's a little ruined tower that people don't mess around with. It's just useless and fallen down. Maybe a couple 100 feet away is a similarly constructed tower that's in perfect shape where the wizard Gabe lives. Kind of an outcast in town. He doesn't come in town much often, but he's right on the outskirts of it, and that's where you guys head.
Okay.
You approach his domicile. As you do, you can see there's a little bit of smoke coming out of the third story window that you originally thought was a chimney type smoke, but you can see it's not. And you are at his door and banging upon it. You hear a voice saying, "Oh, hold on, just wait a minute, hold, I'm on fire, hold." And
Idrisil rolls his eyes.
you then hear a lock unlock at the other end. You hear and a small wooden beam get moved out of place to hold the door in place.
Yeah.
And then you hear another lock, and then you hear a double clap. And then the door goes ka-chink, and then you hear as he slowly opens this small door, and you see there is a moderately naked, old, frail human wizard there with weird frazzled hair a la Doc from Back to the Future. He's got a robe on with nothing on underneath it that is not tied securely at all and is moving around a bit as he's opening the door. And he stands there, and it looks like his the bottom right side of his robe is singed a bit.
Avius. Oh, no, sorry.
What? Hello! I am Gabe the Wizard! All your magical dreams and terrors are at my disposal!
I'm Jix. Hi.
He comes over and pats you on the head. Wonderful to meet you, Jix.
I have a question for you.
And I pull out Cog
All right.
from my satchel.
Idrisil looks around really quickly. Maybe we should go inside first, everyone.
This is business of a lore nature, yes.
It's business of a cog nature, actually.
Good enough. Come in, come in. He steps aside and lets you come in. He touches you on the head, Iggy. Would you mind closing the door? I don't have the energy.
No problem.
You step inside. This is a living room type space. You immediately enter. It appears not to have been used in quite some time. It's got old style furniture that looks frail. Everything's dusty. There's a table covered in dust. There's a kitchen just off to the side. And he says, "Come in and sit down. Would you like a treat?"
Well, sure. What kind of treats do you have?
I'll find something.
Thank you very much.
He goes into the kitchen just off to the side and says back, "So tell me about your Krog."
A cog. Well, we found it in a tower. And a magic tower.
Iggy will go in and help him.
Okay. Could you open this jar,
Yeah.
please? I've got it between my thighs for leverage, but I can't quite get it open.
Okay, let's get after it.
Can you grab it from me, please?
Uh-huh.
Thank you. It's a bit moist.
Perfect.
I hate it here so much.
Killian's just meditating at this point.
I have some sort of pastries, I think, in a cupboard.
How about you? I'll get us some treats. You go talk to the rest of the
Oh,
group.
you're such a good lad. And he pats you on the head.
This man needs an assistant.
He walks into the back into the main entry room that you guys are at.
He just sees Idrisil clapping his hands, watching a small little lock go back and forth.
Stop, Best, no, don't do that. Only I have the magic. You keep doing it and it's working perfectly.
I gotta get one of these.
So tell me about this Krog.
Well, I hold it up to... Jix holds it up to Gabe's face, says,
Well, have a look at it here.
Ooh, he starts stroking the teeth of the cog.
Killian, shine a light on it so it looks really nice.
Sure.
Oh.
What can you tell me about it?
Let me see here.
Oh, Gabe, I can help you. I've learned things.
Oh, you.
I have read its
I
aura.
remember you.
Yes.
No. You still owe me one pair of trousers.
Those were very old, and I told you that they were soiled, and you didn't. I will replace them.
I don't think I like you, do I?
Yes.
He's making the float.
Deception check.
Turned out to be a natural 20.
Oh, really?
It was an unintended roll, but
Well, how are you helping?
so these are my friends, and I am their sorcerer as part of this band.
How do I know you again?
You taught me almost everything I know.
Are you sure?
I feel like I learned so much from you.
I feel like I would remember. I've got a very good memory.
I'm also very short.
We're just declaring facts now, are we? I'm cold.
I'm Jace.
All I can tell you is that this was made with conjuring magic. At least it still has.
Let
conjuring-
me see.
I'll let-
I am the skilled wizard here.
So sorry.
He starts to touch it and spends about a minute looking at it. I have deduced the following secrets within this Krog. Number 1, it is magical. Number 2, it has some type of conjuration magic. Number
Amazing.
3, I have seen something like this before. It is called a master gear, and not a Krog like you simpletons keep calling it. A master gear.
It's only turn into the bridge keeper.
The what?
The bridge keeper?
What's the bridge keeper?
Oh
No, yeah, totally is. I totally is.
I see.
I'll change my voice more high pitched.
I'm not even in the room.
You're not there. You're making treats.
Yeah.
Idrisil stops clapping. What does a master gear do?
That is the fourth thing that I know, but that comes at a price. A wizard must keep the lights on, you know. You can't... Well, no, I can just keep the lights on. A wizard must be able to afford his experimental experiments. He nods at this candy bowl on the table in the middle of the dining room.
Jix tosses a couple gold pieces into the candy bowl.
How many is a couple?
Ooh.
Make a diplomacy roll -5.
Here, got it.
He doesn't seem happy.
-5.
Yeah.
Right. So that is,
How high did you get?
I rolled a 5. So that's a 1.
You bitch! He just keeps nodding. Yes, a wizard's experimentals are very expensive.
Killian glances over at Jix and it's like,
Jix throws
we should have paid Carahel now, don't you?
throws 1 more gold piece and 2 silver pieces.
He looks at the...
Killian
I
will
feel
cast-
our time here has come to an end.
Wait.
Are you serious? I gave you all the money I have.
He pushes you aside off of his couch, digs his hand in, and pulls out the same amount of coins. I need more than this couch money you're throwing around.
That's a neat trick. I wish I had that trick.
Stop digging in my couch now.
Idrisil grabs his lapel
Okay.
and takes the jade cat and puts it in the bowl.
You grab the wizard's lapel.
No, my lapel.
Oh, okay.
I have a jade cat,
Yes.
and I take it and I put it in the bowl.
What's the value of that?
Is
it on your
You
card?
would have to tell
I
me.
think it might be on your card.
Oh, it is. I guess 6 gold pieces.
6 gold.
I didn't know that before I did
He
that.
sees that. He says, very well. And he grabs the coins and the jade cat and spends a minute looking at it. Now I can tell you what this jade cat does. But it will be added to the price of the other information. Any other items?
What?
You need this item identified, yes?
No.
No, that's the collateral.
Oh, treats! What did you bring?
I bring in a tray full of tea and biscuits
Okay.
and some jam.
That's my favorite treat of all.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
He gets it and starts wolfing it down as though he hasn't eaten in ages. Yes, this will do. This little jade thing.
Where
will be
did we
nice.
get here, Gabe? I was in the other room. Are you gonna help us?
Yes. You gave him a total of 3 gold, 2 silver, and a jade magic figurine. Yes, indeed. What you have is a master gear. It is used in something called a chain gate. It is a way of moving great distances. Most chain gates, I've never heard of one being made, only found.
What? You said you saw one before?
I've seen a master cog like this before.
Was it in another chain gate?
It was in one that was disassembled. Some chain gates can lead to wonderful places, others terrible, jamless places.
Do you say jamless?
I did.
The worst places of all.
Like, as in,
Yeah, the jam that's with the biscuits.
I think Chris is more disappointed than Killian.
it's about 50-50.
Once a master gear is in place, the gate is open and you can travel to and fro. But be cautious even with the master gear. Chain gate is very fragile and can be easily destroyed, though the master gear cannot.
Do you know of any chain gates around here?
I know of only one on a faraway island on the other side of the world.
What's that island's name?
I cannot recall because I'm old and not that I don't want to look it up.
Well, Gabe, this was lovely as always. Thank you.
It's amazing to see you come here, my favorite students. And he gives you a big open-robed hug. You're so small.
I need an adult.
You're just in hip height to me. You're so little.
It's fine. Fine. Next time.
Oh, I think I got some jam in your hair.
That's not jam.
Oh my god.
Cut it off
It
later.
is
It's fine. We must be going now. We must be going now.
He says, well, I wish you a good day. And thank you for these. And he walks away with his coins and figurine and cog.
No, he doesn't walk with.
Oh, he's walking away.
What? No, wait, no. Sir.
And Jix runs up and grabs the cog. No, the cog is ours.
This was mine. Make an athletics roll.
Okay.
I'm rolling. I got a 7.
I got a 12.
Okay. Boldly, it's a back and forth heroic battle. You finally wrench it from the old man's grasp. Now stop that! And he blasts you for 3, 9 points of magic missile damage as 3 magic missiles fly from his hands and hit you and knock you on your boat.
Gabe, why are you attacking us?
He's robbing me, I think.
We came to you with this gear. It's not yours.
Oh,
Say you're sorry.
I'm sorry.
Now heal me.
What? I don't do heals.
Damn it.
I can tell you about all the damage that I just did.
What else are you trying? What is this? And I pick up the jade cat. Are you trying to take this from us too?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you have the coin.
I did not mean to offend.
Have a good day. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
And I flick the jade cat back at you, sir.
All right.
He flicks it at me, but it's a weapon of it's not a weapon, it's an item that uses gravity to slow a person, so it slowly goes across the room and I catch it.
All right.
Using its 1 charge.
And you guys have both of those items as you leave Gabe's tower.
Killian will take a moment and step over to Alistair.
Who's that?
Who's Alistair?
I'm sorry. To Idrisil.
A new person falls into the scene.
It's like Jumanji.
It was a very magnanimous thing you did back there. Karahal bless you. To give away that possession.
You know, I try to be magnetic as often as possible, and I'm glad it worked out.
Magnanimous.
What's your plan?
What time of day is it?
Gotta be getting late.
Yeah, it's getting into dark
All right,
nighttime-ish.
that's good because
Let's
Jix needs to kill himself now.
Yeah, you do. Killian wants to go talk to the mayor.
Okay.
Which is on the way back into
Yeah.
town proper.
You guys want to come talk to the mayor with me?
Yeah.
We should.
All right. You guys head towards the blacksmith's shop. He is off a side road in town.
We'll cast
But it's
on
on the
Jix.
way to the tower, right?
14.
No, not
It's-
at all.
okay.
But it's just not a huge
Well,
walk.
It's directly south. It's
Oh no,
Yeah,
you're right.
it's
Yeah. I was thinking of.
Sorry, it's just a little bit of a walk on one way.
You're going to Queenly?
No.
going to Voldis.
That's for later.
Okay, you guys head to the blacksmith's place. This is Voldis the blacksmith, also the town mayor. You hear him hammering away, and you approach, and there's even a little bell as you walk into his workshop he's installed. He's a big, muscular guy, not a lot of hair, big, broad chest. He turns around at hearing the sound. Oh, my friends, welcome. Yeah, it's been a while.
A few days, yes. Karahal bless you.
How many days has it been?
We've been... A couple people have been asking about you. It's been at least a month. Is this one all right?
I was supposed to check in 3 weeks ago.
You're grounded.
My dad's gonna be so pissed.
You're certain it's been that long?
It's been a while, yes. A lot's been happening. We figured you were out gaining fame and fortune and saving the day.
Yeah, sure. Something like that.
What?
We've certainly got news to recollect to you.
Is tell us about the tower at Bottom Hill.
Yeah, there's been some work done over there. Some businessman has paid off the farmers that were there. They were compensated and sent on their way and is constructing his own place there. Some sort of castle or something silly.
I think we should do everything we can to prevent the construction of this tower.
Why? This is, if it's any kind of keep or castle, that adds security to the region.
And if he's got a
that.
permit, there's really nothing we can do.
What is the name of this businessman?
Color is his name.
Color.
I heard that name.
Did you? Did you now?
I didn't think it was a person. You mentioned color.
But more importantly,
Where is this color can be found?
I don't know. One of his representatives provided some paperwork. We had the family farmers in town, and a deal was struck, and it seems to be of benefit to everyone. Why are you so concerned about it?
I'm sorry, you were saying something about more importantly.
Yeah, the last week or 2 weeks now. A young girl has gone missing.
Tell us about the girl.
It's, Celicia Valage. The young girl of the Valage family, was gone after playing, and the whole town spent an entire week searching the woods trying to find her, and of course we went looking for our town heroes. Unfortunately, you were not available.
Speaking of the villages, how was the party?
It was canceled.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
We're sorry that we weren't available. Our absence has to do with this tower, perhaps, and it's of utmost importance to delay or prevent this tower from being constructed, and you're just gonna have to trust us at the moment.
Well, then I'll ask you 2 questions. One, why should I trust you on that? It seems, again, like a valuable addition to the community. And 2, who are you again?
Jigs!
I think we've met.
Yes. Iggy and I are good friends.
Oh, well,
This
that's
is true.
good enough for me.
Having lived in the town for a while, the mayor, I mean, he's a good guy.
Yep.
He's like, he's working to the benefit of the town.
Yep,
Your man is
local.
he just doesn't like being the mayor. He'd rather just be a blacksmith.
I mean, who wouldn't?
We have reason to believe that this color fellow is using the tower for nefarious purposes, or intending to do something evil.
Like what?
We believe that Color hired the gnome to scare away the farmers who were there.
Oh, the gnome, yes.
Idrisil pulls out one of the fangs from the worm creature that he took from Bottom Hill and shows it to the mayor. This was at Bottom Hill while we took down the creature. And he throws it on the
Dramatically,
Yeah.
a la
Drops it.
Quinn.
We followed information that was provided by the gnome, incidentally, to follow some pieces around the map. Once we encountered one of those locations, which is where we've been, by the way, trying to investigate this information, we were approached by a figure who mentioned that we, being the gnome, needed to continue to aid Color at the hill. We don't believe he had good intentions, so we don't believe Color has good intentions. Did I say it right? I did good, right?
You did good. You did good.
Yeah.
Well, what are your intentions?
We are the defenders of Edlin Home. We shall keep it safe and protected. We shall be the heroes of all time. And we will keep this place continuing to be the safest place ever. You don't need a keep for that. You have us.
Make a diplomacy roll +2.
What he said.
28.
Hear, hear, my friends. Yes. Has there ever been doubt that these are the heroes we don't deserve? How does that line go? We're so glad to have you back. Well, whatever supports you need, we're here for you. That would, if you say there's trouble, then I believe you. We can try to reach out to this Color representative and take a look at this contract again. If you think there's something more direct that needs to happen, the town will support you.
Are there any of the residents from Bottom Hill that are still here in Edlin Home?
No.
Do you know where did they go?
They took their money and headed to Tabannery or Mirskan or somewhere else entirely. Anywhere in the Kingdom of Navarre is theirs. They were paid handsomely.
Do you know who all passed through here on their way?
What do you mean?
From the farms. Did any of the family stay overnight or anything?
They stayed here for several days during the negotiation.
Do you remember which families those were?
The Wheelers and the Roots.
Okay.
Who are you again?
So, I feel what we should do is work together with you, Mr. Mayor, as a team to make sure that we are doing our best to make sure that Color is really who he says he is and doing the things he should be doing. In the meantime, we have some more defending to do.
And possibly a missing little girl to find.
Oh, and check in on the widow Moleri, too. We haven't seen her in a couple weeks.
We will.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
A lot of note scribbling, I see.
Arleo. Apparently not friends with Moleri.
The blacksmith, what's he... Does he make more weapons or does he make armor? Like, what's he have just hanging out in his shop right now?
Taking a look. He has a few weapons and general metal items to sell. He does lots of jobs to hire, generally speaking, but he does have some standard weapons if you're looking to buy something different.
Such as?
He has the following as it loads up. He has the following. He has a light mace. He has a short sword, a long sword. He has a metal shield. He has a battle axe and a light hammer, a war hammer type thing, a light hammer. And that's what he has.
You need armor?
No, he does not have armor.
Fair. That was more or less what I was looking for.
Right.
Also, at some point in time, I would have spent some time with this maglite flame thing
Oh, yeah?
to try and, to try and identify it.
Yeah, you have identified that as an ever-burning torch.
Does it have an off switch?
It does not.
Hence the name Ever Burning Torch.
It is a torch. It's just a handle, that maglite type thing with a flame. You can try and cover it. You can do whatever you want, but it is a flame that burns continuously.
Can I put a cap on it?
In what? How? What?
We can put it in his pocket.
Yeah, so it's not like I don't have to carry it out I'm an Olympic runner the whole time without burning up everything. Because it's gonna be a little obvious me running around with this
Yeah, you can, if you can find some way to cap it. Yeah, it can't ever be extinguished or smothered, but you can try and limit where it goes. It doesn't take oxygen. It's magical.
Okay.
Does it burn? Does it catch things on fire?
It being a flame?
It generates no heat.
Oh, really?
So you just
weird.
you just smother it with a.
I don't like it.
Open flame in my...
Do magic tricks with it.
Just put it in your mouth.
I'm gonna give up my adventuring for
Join in the circus.
traveling roadshow.
As much as I don't like it, we should head over to the village's property and see if there's any things that they can answer about little girl.
Should we maybe just call it a night and then do that in the morning? It's getting late.
I got all the help points. I don't even sleep. What are we talking about?
Perhaps head over tonight to ask. Wow, I sound like you're still there for a second.
No, you don't.
I did in my head.
You sound like Mel Gibson.
I'm all right with that.
Sugar tits.
Go over and ask them about her, about the girl, and then, figure out, maybe make our plans tonight.
Go to...
The villages.
Okay. Oh, Cecilia?
Oh, holy gnome squad! I gotta check in with my dad.
Silesia.
He runs. Xander runs out. Fate of the town be damned. His dad's gonna be pissed.
All right, we'll do just the four of us then, I suppose.
Are heading to the village house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys then head across the dirt road to the village house. It's not a far walk at all. This is one of the nicer houses in town. They bought it just a couple months ago. Well, I guess a couple months plus one now ago. and they're new arrivals-ish in town. They are wealthy. They have paid some people to manicure the lawn and trim the trees and all that kind of stuff. The place, it's dark now, and the place looks quiet. You can see there's a little bit of a light coming through the windows, and you guys knock upon the door.
Yep.
The father of the house, you know, his name is Mordric Valage. He is a human, well-trimmed beard, handsome type guy, maybe 45 years old. He opens up the door and says, yes, who's there?
Hello, Mordric. This is, I am, Killian Fennel. I am a wayfarer.
Did you look at your badge on your chest? What the hell was that?
I had to think about that for a second.
I'm Brother
White shirt,
Fennel.
black tie.
You've got one name to remember.
I am a wayfarer of Karen Hell, and these are friends and companions.
He's on his first mission.
Yeah. We are just back from, reading.
We are servants of Carahel. We have come to save you. Continue.
We've just returned to town and heard of your daughter's disappearance.
Come in, priest. Yes, of course. I've heard your name. Yes, come in.
Okay, am I going?
All right. He sees Idril come in and nods. He sees this weird barbarian dwarf come in with a big sword. Perhaps it might be best if you kept guard outside.
These are friends and should hear of these things as well. They are all friendly, intelligent people who may have ideas beyond what mine are, and questions beyond what I can think of.
Very well.
Don't mind the gnomes.
And
There's
then
no gnome here.
There's no gnome here.
We're not the same. We're not the same.
Going across the line.
And then with the fourth person entering, Jix, he says, "Yeah, no, I think it's. We'll thank you. We'll take care of things."
Let's go outside. We're obviously not wanted here.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
And he closes the door slowly.
I was going to help you, but now I'm not so sure.
The two of you, yes, of course, come in. Inside is a nice, luxurious foyer with a luxurious seating dining area. Luxurious for a small town, but still the nicest you've seen in this town. You can hear someone talking in another room. It's very quiet, though, lighting and subdued. It's not very lively.
Idril hangs his bow up on the nearest hook that
Okay.
he can find.
There's a coat hook there,
Get
yeah.
yourself at home.
Well, no, just to show him.
A bow, sword,
Yeah, show
trousers.
him.
Walks
He's
down,
not a
puts his feet up on the table.
nowhere in the realm of a
Turns on the
threat.
TV. You got Netflix?
Puts his feet up.
What's your Wi-Fi?
Oh, The Mandalorian. I saw this episode last week. Okay. It's not that cute, guys. Okay, it's just a Yoda. So he walks in and just says to Mordric, "We heard about. I'm sorry for the hard subject, but we're here about your daughter. We're sorry for the loss."
I appreciate that. It's been a nightmare.
Tell us of the circumstances of how she disappeared.
The mayor said it's been 2 weeks.
It's been too long. It's been 13 days.
In how many hours?
Killian joins the group outside the house.
And then I said, and then he said.
When was she taken? Was it at night? Was she outside? Was she with anyone?
She was outside playing in the kids' fort they have out in the woods across the way. He motions with his head behind the house. And we called him in for dinner, and Thea and Delia, they came back, and we started having dinner. We then asked about their other sister.
These are your 2 daughters? You have 3 daughters?
3 daughters and a boy. And
Jeppa?
Jepper, yes. You've heard of him.
He's famous around town.
I'm sure he's an impressive lad, yes. But Celicia did not return, and we went out and called her name and could not find her. And after an hour, we got Voldus involved, and he got the rest of the town involved.
Did your children see anything? Did they mention seeing anything?
They said they saw her there when they left, and she was staying behind.
Why would she stay behind? Does she normally go off alone?
Not normally, but she has been doing it maybe a bit more the last month since we've moved.
Do you know what she's been doing when she's been alone?
They play in their fort.
She stays in the fort alone?
No, the kids come and go as they see fit.
But they've been coming and going and she's been staying in the fort?
Sometimes.
And other times?
Sometimes not. We've been told this is a safe town. It's why we moved here. We were told that there were protections in town that would come to your aid if necessary. And so far, that has not been true of any of that.
We know Edlinholm to be a relatively safe place. However, there are many creatures that have been surrounding the area. We just came back from a mission ourselves. If you've heard of Bottom Hill, we recently took down a creature there. And we believe that its allies are still in the area.
How does that bring back my daughter?
It certainly doesn't bring her back, but that's why we're here. We just wanted to talk with you and get your first-hand opinion. If you've seen anything suspicious, anyone suspicious, if you've left town, if your children might be able to tell us of any goings-on in the woods near the area, if we could go into the woods with your permission.
It's woods for all. My children have nothing to share with you. I have nothing to share. I don't leave the town.
Would it still be possible for us to speak to Thea and Dahlia?
Make a diplomacy roll -2.
Oh. Harsh. 3?
They've been through enough.
It's not so much. It's not so important that we hear from them the information, but if they are ever ready, it would be
They've been
very helpful.
through enough, as has my wife.
Modric, we understand you're upset. I can't imagine what it's like to have a child missing for fear of death, but I can assure you,
Make it better.
we will find her and we will find out what happened.
I am grateful for your help. And if you do, you will certainly be rewarded.
A reward is appreciated, but not necessary at this time.
Sign here.
Hold on. Takes his dagger out and pricks his finger.
Look that over first.
Well, that's going on inside.
Yes, what's going on outside, Jix and Iggy?
God.
Iggs.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we might as well prowl around on the outside here while we're talking inside.
Oh, I was thinking about, yeah, okay, let's do that.
Okay.
Jix wants to just kind of start wandering around the perimeter of the home,
Okay.
seeing if there's any open window that he can hear through or peek through or...
Yes, there is a open window, and you hear a woman inside chatting with her child. And in just a motherly voice, "No, you stay here, Jepper. Tonight we're just gonna stay in, and you're just such a good boy, and you're the best boy ever, and just give your mom a hug."
All right, yeah, keep circling around the
Okay.
house, keep going.
There are no other open windows. Do you want to try to break into windows or the basement doors?
No,
No.
no, we don't.
All right.
Idrisil's talking to this guy,
Does
and he looks out the window, and he just sees a small head bopping past him.
Is there anything noticeable, like in the yard area or in anything of interest?
Make a perception roll.
That's gonna be. Guess that's 13.
13 total?
Yeah.
Good. You don't see anything unusual there. It's very clean. There's no toys out there. It's very well tended to. Yep. The front door opens and Killian and Idrisil are heading out.
Right as that happens, Jix takes a little leaf of an interesting plant that he saw. Stuffs it in his pouch.
The father of the household, Mordric, pulls you gently back, Idrisil, and says, I'm sorry if I seem brusque with you. Yeah, I appreciate what you and your allies are doing.
No, Mordric, you have nothing to apologize for. He's wrapping his bow back around his shoulder. We simply are emissaries, one of us of Karen Hell, but mostly just Edlin Home. We want to keep all of our neighbors safe. We want to make sure that everyone is leading their best life and most full life. For me, that satisfaction comes in helping others and finding missing children.
We were told of the warmth of Edlin Home, and it has certainly proven true.
Let's
There's a child's fort close by. We should investigate that while we're here.
We're gonna have to go that way in the morning.
So yeah, what time? I mean, is it? It's got to be. Is it dark?
Oh yeah, it's dark. It's like 7 p.m.
Oh,
Yeah, let's just go have some dinner and drinks and deal with this first thing.
You want to wait till the morning to get this all started?
Yeah.
very well.
No sense in tromping around in the woods at night if we don't have to.
All right, you guys are going to take a break and rest then.
Yeah.
All right,
Sounds
you guys head to your different domiciles. For Idrisil, that is Portmer's archery compound. He's resting by the time you get there, but you have your own little spot in the back. For Killian the cleric, you're going back to the temple where you have your room there.
Yep.
For Iggy, you have your a little storeroom spot at the Thankful Lodge that you're returning to.
Mm-hmm.
And Jix, where do you go?
Jix has a room at the Thankful Lodge that he is leasing.
Okay. Sounds good. And then we have Xander. Xander, that night you are returning back to the Ember Lantern, the bar your father owns. Not the most considerate of men and kind of men. As you open up the door, he looks up from the bar. There's no one else really in there. And he sees you. Xander!
Pop.
Where have you been?
Time kind of got away from us. I found out it's
Time
very
got
rare.
away!
It
You've been gone a month!
I know. I'm just as surprised as you are.
I was so busy without you!
I can see that.
Come here! Right here!
All right. I walk over to him.
He throws his arms around you and squeezes you tight. I was so worried.
Oh, I've missed you, Pop.
You've never been gone this long without. I thought you would. All right, clean this place up and make it look nice.
No,
I'm going
wait.
to bed.
Can I at least tell you what I did?
Just tomorrow.
There is so much magic.
I'm so angry.
I'm sorry.
And he goes to sleep, and you're left alone in this place cleaning up heroically.
Like a defender of Edlin.
All right.
Defender of Edlin Home by day. Cleaner of the
Defender of
environment.
germs by night.
All right, there's one thing we need to do, a little bit of interesting bookkeeping, since you guys are dealing with rooms and rates and all that kind of jazz.
Uh-oh.
We need to pay for cost of living.
Which you don't have any.
And Jackson needs to pay more than anyone.
Into Carol, I would have helped out.
All right, so you can You can pay by the week, by the month, or by the year, and then you choose the comfortability of your lifestyle. There is subsistence, which is homeless guy barely clinging to life. Then there is comfortable, a peasant type person, not thriving by any means. Then there's fine. You've got some decent stuff. You might be like a merchant, that kind of a deal. And then there's extravagant. We're talking like noble, catered meals at every breakfast and all that stuff.
Isn't there like a lower upper class?
That's where there's at. So you guys, I'd recommend paying by the month so we can just be good for the whole month, and maybe Jix, you get lents.
What is 2 copper getting? And for how long?
They get out a sundial. So paying by the week or the month, subsistence is 2 gold pieces a month, and that covers all your food and all of your rent and all that stuff.
Shaking his head, no.
Comfortable is 4 gold pieces a month. And then fine is, if anyone wants that, it's 130 gold pieces a month. And then extravagant, only 430 gold a month.
Oh,
Wow,
how
that's a
much?
bargain.
So what can I get for 2 copper?
How much is
Jix?
stay for the month gonna be?
If you give him comfortable, it would be 4 gold. Yours, Idrisil and Iggy, and Xander, and Killian, now that I think about it. All of yours, you guys can take half off of.
Okay.
Because you guys kind of provide services for where you're at. Only Jix gets screwed up.
You pay double.
I'm gonna go to Marpin because Cyril seems a little dickish.
All right.
And I'll give her 3 gold for both Jix and I for the month.
Okay. And do you tell her to lie and accept his 2 copper as though it was all his payment to begin with?
Yep.
Okay. You do have a room now, and room and board, Jix, for a month.
Thanks, eggs.
And you guys are both staying in separate rooms at the Thankful Lodge.
Yeah, I have a closet.
And yeah, he has a better room than you do, and you just paid for it.
Yeah, well, it's all right. I don't need much.
At the Temple of Carahel, Killian, you are there. You have paid your due respects coming into the door, cleansing your hands, writing a note in your book about your adventures. You see some people, you catch up a bit briefly, eager to get some rest on what they're doing. A lot of new research and book ideas. There's a big scriptorium you quietly peruse. And you have another meeting with the high priest of the temple.
Morag?
Morag is his name. A dwarven priest who wears the simple robes like you do, but a much finer, cool blue belt karate type thing around his waist to signify his rank. And he continues your conversation with him. It's good that you're back, and I assume you'll be off on some other escapade.
Indeed, we will shortly be traveling away again.
Any idea where that might be?
There's been a disappearance of a young girl in the town, and it appears that perhaps another townsperson has disappeared as well. We need to investigate both of those.
What other townsperson?
Moleri?
I do not know that individual.
She, there was a fellow we met on the road who was, said that he was going to go meet her. He had some snakes with him. Harleo.
He raises an eyebrow. Well, if, perhaps there's more to this than simple coincidence, as this might be something more planned, more perhaps diabolical against the town?
It is a possibility, and then we also, the tower that is being built out in Bottom Hill, I've
heard of it.
Yes, we ran into a creature who spoke to my gnome companion as if he knew him. He thought he was Vargalos, who we had dispatched. And then we had acquired a an artifact, and he said to take it to Bottom Hill, and then he mentioned a name, and the same name of the person, Kohler, who's now building this tower.
I've heard that name before as well.
Have you?
Some businessman of some prestige in Navarre.
I think he's more than that, and probably, if my suspicions and intuition is correct, he is a nefarious character who we may have to, in time, deal with.
Well, I respect the path you choose. I would ask, though, keep an eye on these missing people. In particular, keep an eye out for our own lost member. Acolyte Lofio has gone missing.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Not to Lofio.
Lofio, yes, you know him. He was here right before you departed. He's been only with us a month.
Yes, I met him briefly and had some interactions with him, yes.
He's spent plenty of evenings at the Ember Lantern Tavern in town. I'm sure you don't know the place, but it's just south of the pond.
I have met my friends there.
Oh.
I'm not surprised.
We haven't seen him for a week.
Yeah.
Perhaps this is more of that diabolical attack upon the townspeople. It has been my experience, where there are towns, where there is civilization, where there is good in this world, the evil tends to stay at bay, as though it is a light that keeps out darkness. But perhaps some darkness has found its way further into these lights of hope.
Carahul willing, we will...
Don't you lecture... No.
We will spread the light and diffuse the darkness.
That is good. Now, let us pray.
Let us pray.
And he breaks you pray with him. All right. It is the next day. You guys are awake. You've got, again, all your hit points. You've got all your spells. Any wounded status, I think we had one left, is now gone. And you guys are gathered together outside the Thankful Lodge, where a couple of you are staying, and you guys all meet there in the morning. What's your plan?
How did everybody sleep?
My bed was great. Dusty, though. We've been gone for a really long time.
Yeah.
My dad doesn't clean my room. My dad doesn't clean anything.
So, same plan. We're going to go look for that little girl.
What? What little girl? Oh, right. The Villages girl.
The Villages, yeah.
Yes, and also one of the priests of Carahel has gone missing as well, so that
That's
it's...
three missing people.
Who was it?
an acolyte named Lofio.
Not
The
Lofio!
little guy.
Yeah.
So that's 2 missing people, right?
3. There's Moleri.
So that's 2 missing people. We don't need to go looking for Lofio. No, I'm kidding. That's very troublesome. I miss him already.
Carahel disapproves.
Pray about it.
Oh, he was young. How old was Lofio? How old is Lofio? Excuse me.
Past tense already.
Young, I don't know.
You put him in his early 20s.
Early
Middle
20s,
age for
eh?
this.
Because we heard
My age.
we heard that witch we have. She's been rumored to be taking children, correct?
Aye.
I don't know.
So who's the third person that's missing?
A
little
townsperson named Moleri.
Remember the guy with the horse we met? He was going to visit her. That shaky bastard
With
with
the
the
snakes?
snakes.
Bit you?
Oh, I don't. Okay. So, why don't we go check on this Moleri person first?
I think we should go after the young girl. Just
They're likely all together, but we can search for clues.
Well, I know where Malaria used to live. Or still lives if it could be found. I can show you right now.
We can check there. And the little girl, the father said that she would stay behind in the fort by herself. And that was a new thing that she was doing. Perhaps we can discern some clues from the fort, or there might be something to it, some trail.
Yeah, I think if we
My vote is to do that.
go for the fort, we might find some clues. We can certainly go to Molari's if it's on the way there. We can do that. I thought it was west. Where does Molari live?
Which one's closer, Molari or the fort?
They're both, I think, very close, just in the middle of.
Okay, perfect.
You can take a look at your map to verify.
Her place is right there.
All right, let's go. I guess visit Molari, and then we'll
Okay.
we'll go to the Molari's place and see.
Let's do that, and then if we don't get an answer, we can go to the woods quicker. But let's see if we get an answer.
All right, you guys walk down the road. It's not far at all to the widow Molari's house, and you knock upon her door. Are you doing something more?
Yeah, let's knock.
Knock. All right. You bang on the door, and after a while, you bang again, and you hear some shuffling sound and some movement of furniture type sound from inside. And then you hear the door unlock, and the door opens up wide, and you see a shirtless man you've met before named Harleo standing there with his big kind of pudgy, hairy belly. And he does the very overly casual thing of putting his hands on the door top and just kind of leaning out in the doorway right next to you guys. And he says, "Hey, good morning. What's going on?"
Just takes a step back from his breath and just,
Killian gives a little tug on his right ear, like picking up the kind of oddness of it.
Okay.
Kind of glances over at Iggy while tugging on his ear.
How are you? Harleo, right?
That's right. Who are you, man?
We've met. You don't remember us? We met you on the road.
Oh, yeah.
You had snakes.
Yeah, and you
I asked if you were
save
coming
my
to
horse.
Molari's to get laid.
How's it going?
Did you get laid?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
We're gonna have to see.
Yeah, where is Molari? We have some business with her.
Why do you have to see him
None of
over
your business.
It's our
We have
turn,
business with her.
Basically.
Not me. I don't need. It's fine.
He's still a virgin.
He's just last.
Hey, we're all good here. We don't need to be waking up Molari.
No,
We do.
we're gonna have to speak to her.
What's it about? Maybe I can help you.
We're gonna have to speak to Molari.
You see, there is a woman moving around in the dark house, behind him, within the room there. It is a youngish woman who is absolutely not Molari, because she's a middle-aged 40-year-old widow, and you don't know this particular person. Elven lady. She's kind of trying to look past Hario and see who you guys are.
Idrisil's ears kind of perk up and quiver,
All right.
and he's looking right past Harleo, right at her, to see if she notices him.
And she's not noticing. She sees you,
Yeah.
but she's not noticing you.
Iggy, if you'll let us in the house, please.
Okay. And I barrel right, just shoulder my way in.
Make an athletics roll +3. He's not expecting this.
26.
Whoa! You can describe any way you want how this situation of getting
I
in.
just he's human. So yeah, I just basically put my shoulder into his his middle torso area and
Okay.
just walk right in, and then I do a little entrance to to Killian. Here you go.
All right. He's like, "Hey, guy, what are you doing?"
Don't worry about it. We're here for Molari. Where is she?
And
Who's your friend?
the lady who's right there, she just backs away and she says, What is this?"
Killian walks in. Where's the mistress of this house?
And the lady says, "She's back here."
And-
Who do you think you walk
Kelly,
right past her? Okay. You walk through the house. The house is smoky. It smells funny, and it's almost completely pitch black. There's some lanterns boiling that are turned down way low. And you walk past her, you poke your head into one room, there's nothing there, it's disheveled. You poke your head into another room and you see there is a bed there with the widow Moleri. She's laying on the bed. She lays there sleepily and stirs and looks up at you and she says, "What?" You see that there is a snake in the bed with her.
Mr. Smoleri,
She says, "What is it?"
are you all right?
"I'm fine. What time is it?"
It is in the morning,
"Oh, I slept late."
and your friend Harleo, do you know that man?
"Yeah. Are we going to eat? What are we doing?"
Does she seem drugged or
Make a medicine roll.
natural 20?
Ooh. She seems drugged. You sniff at the air and you believe they are burning a special type of incense called Bright Lotus, which is just a very euphoric experience.
And where's the snake in comparison to Moleri?
It's she's laying on the bed facing you on her side and the snake is on her belly. Or alongside her belly.
Doing what?
Just kind of slowly going up towards her head and her arms.
Okay. Killian will just kind of casually walk up, and as he gets closer to the snake, he's just gonna reach out and snatch it by the back of its like basically, kind of snake catcher type.
All right, you've got the snake in your hand.
Uh,
It starts to kind of slowly wrap around, but the snake seems lazy.
okay. He's gonna toss it.
Okay, you fling the snake. You hear from back out into the house Harleo say, "Lulu, what are you doing?"
And then Killian picks up the Mistress Moleri and is going to walk her out of the house.
Okay, Harleo is there checking on his snake. He sees
No,
you.
before he tries to go down the hallway, I'm going to stop him.
All right.
I think if you stay up here in the living room with me, things will work out better for you.
He bats away your hand. He says, "I think you better get out of here, and you don't know what you're getting into, buddy."
I'm
And
going to trip him.
oh, okay. You don't need to make a roll. That's automatic. He's not prepared for that. He moves past you, and
you would think he'd get prepared after he got barreled over.
and you trip him, and he goes crashing to the ground. And just as that happened, Killian, you step over him with Moleri, and he says, "What are you guys doing? Don't kidnap her.
We're not kidnapping anyone. We're making sure she's all right.
Everyone's fine."
You're going to stay down there on the floor.
Killian will hand Moleri over to maybe Idrisil, if that's okay.
Oh, am I inside? We haven't even gotten there yet.
Well, I mean, we're back to the
Okay.
outside. Yeah. And then he spins around on Harleo and
Who's on the ground?
who's on the ground, and he kind of stands over him. So you've drugged the lady with Bright Lotus and taken over the household. And what other nefarious things are you doing here?
There's nothing nefarious. The only thing nefarious is you breaking in here. We were having a great night, and you've ruined our night now. He says, shielding his eyes from the morning light.
As I have half a mind to take you to the Temple of Karahel right now. You better be gone by the time I get back. And he turns around and leaves.
Yeah, you better be gone by the time you
I
get
put
back.
my foot on his chest.
Mind your tongue.
He minds his tongue, does not say another peep as you leave.
Idrisil walks past Iggy, looking at the guy, and he looks at the woman. He speaks in Elvish, and he asks her, "What are you doing to the woman? Why did you drug her?"
We're not doing anything. Why did you take her?
We were told that she's missing and could have been harmed, and then we walk into a room and see her with a snake on her belly.
And you just barge in and take whoever you want?
We sure do.
She says in Elven, so suck it.
We sure do.
Well, when we get word that they've been taken and a suspicious man walks up smelling of, I don't know what,
Bright Lotus.
apparently a Bright Lotus. She seemed drugged. They had to drag her out, handing her to me.
I don't know your games, but I'll go ahead and find the mayor of this town, and he'll get his little defenders to come and take her back from you.
Mayor's a good friend of ours. He happened to make some of our weaponry as the blacksmith, and he will back up everything that we're saying.
She spits on the floor at your feet.
Punch her.
I turn to Iggy and I just say, we're not going to get anything out of these two. Just leave them here. And I walk out.
All right.
All right.
What are you doing?
Larry, you're safe. We were worried.
Let me go.
No.
This is casual tone.
I'm gonna take her to Carahel.
Okay.
Temple.
Let's make the ride a little easier for her and use the horse.
Oh yeah. Let's find Harleo's horse.
You're going to requisition Harleo's
Yes.
horse.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you find it tied up out back and get her on the horse and you...
Gets his spear. Killy gets his spear out.
Does anyone
Lance
have
it in
like
the
an elixir or something we might want to spare on her and get her healed ourselves and question her sober?
Oh, it's the next morning,
Maybe?
is it not?
Yes. You guys have anything like that?
I can't do anything about her drugged condition.
Yeah, get her somewhere safe.
To Carahel!
Jix could whip up a quick potion.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we could take her to the temple and ask and have more questions asked, or we could do this ourselves and see if she was taken. If not, just send her back in with the Bright Lotus and on you go.
Well, if we head back to the Ember, I do have some more Will-O-Wisp. That's really good for hangovers. It might work for her for this one as well.
Jex, what do you got?
Well, I could whip up a little antidote. I don't know if it'll work or not, but we could give it a shot.
He starts hawking things in his throat.
How
he picked the
sure
leaf
are
off the
you,
bush
Xana?
from the house last night.
The Ember Lantern? Is that where we're going?
You have a willow.
Will-O-Wisp.
Ember Home, Ember
you all
something?
tried some of this when we were drinking that one time. It was a while ago.
yeah.
But yeah, we keep it behind the bar for just such occasions.
I'm interested in getting her sober ourselves instead of bringing her to more people.
That's a good
they all
start.
know, the old saying, 5 people can keep a secret. Or 6 people.
That is a fair start. Let us.
You're heading back to the tavern.
Ember. Yeah.
Before I leave, I still have my foot on Harleo's chest, and I put a big little fat dwarf finger into his face. You and Lulu, is it? You have 1 hour to get the hell out of town. I'm gonna come back here if you're still here. You're gonna meet Lucy. And I walk away.
Make an intimidation roll.
Haha, yeah, 7.
Okay.
Who's Lucy? I want to meet her.
It sounded much deeper in your head.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta get out of here.
Uh-huh.
All right. And you leave. And it was really good, but you tripped on the doormat on the way out. You guys take the horse and Moleri back to the rear of the tavern and start jabbing this
Jamming thing, drinks down her throat.
Okay.
We're basically gonna drug her ourselves.
Okay.
So the Will-O-Wisp is a small bottle. I poured it into a small drink. It could be in a wee bit of mead or anything else. It's just a dose. So a serving that goes in could be water, but it tastes a little rough. It's a little bark.
Do you have any coffee? Maybe coffee?
I can definitely get some coffee. Yes, we have coffee this morning because our guy at the end, he always uses it in the morning.
You you drink, you give her such a drink, you give her some coffee. After 30 minutes, there's still no change. She's just kind of slothed and just laying there or has her head on the table. 45 minutes, there's no change.
So bored.
Here, let me try something.
And Jix reaches into his pouch and pulls out the reagent and pops it in a little test tube looking vial. Shakes it up a little bit. and walks over to Moleri. Gently says,
Here you go.
and just
Puts in your little potion.
gently pours it into her lips.
All right. You do such a thing. I'm rolling a die, and after about 15 minutes, she seems a little more annoyed and lucid. What am I doing here? It's cold.
Hi, Malari. I'm Xander. Welcome to the Emerald Lantern. We were asked to find you because you had been missing for a while, and we were concerned that you were not here.
I'm right here. You found me.
Were you supposed
Where
to
am
be?
I again?
Well, right now you're in the Lantern. The Emerald Lantern. We're still in Edlin home.
Oh. Can you take me home?
Sure, but there's a couple of people there we're a little suspicious about. Harleo and some elf maiden, I believe, right? That's what you saw? Are they supposed to be there?
Oh, they're fine.
Are they friends of yours?
Yeah.
They didn't seem very nice to us, and they were hiding you quite a bit.
They're nice people. I can't remember her name, but they're nice people.
Why are they nice people?
We get along. We chat. We have fun.
There was only one snake there, right?
You only saw one snake.
one.
The elven lady was the other snake.
Declares Killian.
Not Killian, but
Chris.
yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, someone just take me back home. That would be great. I'm a little
No.
wobbly.
I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad you're okay. We were really concerned. You hadn't apparently come out of your house in a very long time.
It's a good, cozy home. I don't understand why any of this is of your concern. She scoots her chair back and stands up and kind of teeters a bit.
Malari, do you know what it was that they gave you?
I don't know. You gave me some weird drink, and I don't know what
No,
was
not
it.
us. Them. Harleo. Do you know what he gave you to make you feel that way?
I don't know what you're talking about. I just want to go home.
So knowing probably a little bit something about Brightside Lotus.
Bright Lotus.
Bright Lotus. What are the effects? Like, the longer term effects of long term exposure.
There haven't been many case studies done on it.
The anecdotal evidence supports what conclusions?
There is. It has an opposite of becoming a little resilient to it. You become just more and more susceptible to it over time. Is the long term effect. But yeah, it gets you euphoric, sleepy. Great for dreams, relaxing, chilling, having sex, whatever it is. Food's good. But it really pulls you out of the environment pretty heavily, and it's hard to get back in.
So it's like ecstasy.
Sure.
How do you know that?
Before we
Some want it right now.
before we take you home, Voldus, the mayor, he was the one that asked us to find you. Let's go by his house and just so he knows you're safe, and then we'll see what he wants us to do then.
Fine. Let's. And you take this middle-aged woman slowly. No, you
she's
put her on
on
the
the
horse.
horse.
Yeah. You take her over there, and you have a conversation with Voldus. You tell him what's up, and he says, I don't know what to make of this. She hasn't been out of the house in a while, but here she is, nice and safe.
Can we leave her here with you for a little bit? You can see her home.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds good.
And while you're at it, take an extra look at Harleo and his elven friend.
They better not be there still.
I'll keep.
Well, we did take his horse, so they can't get very far.
He's walking.
And he takes Moleri and just tries to make her feel reassured and takes her inside his place.
Inside her.
Inside his place.
I still don't like it.
No, I got the impression that she knows something or has something in her place and they're using her.
You always think somebody knows something. Like you like
Because everybody knows something.
you thought the Wheelers knew something.
Oh, the Wheelers knows.
I will find out what the Wheelers know.
I will track the Wheelers to the ends of the earth.
Season 4. I think.
I think she's just
I mean, Harley he's a bit of a, a bit of a toss pop.
Well, I mean, he doesn't really fit into Edlin Home, but who does fit into Edlin Home? That's part of what we are. We're a bit of a melting pot of a lot of different places. Right, Killian? You're new. Now there's Jix here. We got a goblin living with us. This is kind of a neat place. It's a mixture of a lot of other things.
Yeah.
I had a lot of coffee. I shouldn't have drank all that. What's happening?
Jix is eating a grasshopper. What's your plan?
Oh, we got one. There's 2 others that are missing, right? We're on a roll. Let's get to the next one.
I really don't like sending her back home.
No, we're not. She's staying
She's
here
staying
with
Voldus. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
and then he's going to
What's
take her
his
home
name?
in a little bit.
What's his name?
Voldus?
Voldus.
Voldemort? Something like that?
Thinking of vulva.
But we need to ensure that he has, he has good intentions. We need to ensure that he knows Harleo has good intentions. Or if he doesn't, don't leave her there.
There's no way he has good intentions.
Well, yeah. So if we're going to leave him with Voldus, make sure Voldus knows.
Voldus knows that. He says he's going to take a look at him.
Okay.
We should go back and Divine Lance him, I think.
Just open up. Hello.
I mean, that's a good way to find out if somebody's evil or not.
Catch him with their
Just-
pants
You
down?
wanna
Is that what you're saying?
Just saying.
There's lots of bad people around. You can't just go lancing everyone.
How does it work against chaotic neutral people? I think we should go.
Only work against those who have truly evil intent. Not
There's a
just-
lot of those people around.
There's a lot of
right. And those people should not be around.
I'm leading with Xander here. I think we should go. We got 1. Let's go for 3. Let's go for the girl.
For now.
I mean, that was our initial.
Yeah, I would much rather rescue a innocent little girl than whatever the hell she is. Motioning to Malari.
We're all equal in Kara Hill's eyes.
You just said evil.
Listen to the little one.
I caught you.
Touche.
I think I know where Cecilia's fort is. This way.
Xander heads off.
How do you know where some little children's fort is, Sandra?
Well,
Don't make it creepy.
We're all small.
Xander, you head off and head towards the Valage household.
That's rich coming from you.
Xander moves with confidence
That's
as
my
though he
job.
knows exactly what he's talking about until he gets to the household and gets around the back, and then he just kind of wanders around and wanders around. And then he finds it. There's a fort in the trees out back behind the house. There's a couple trees, and you see there is a fort. It's a wooden little simple structure that's been built about 8 feet up on top of a couple between 2 trees.
Impossible to reach.
It's
What's for the wood to do?
It's a simple little dilapidated little structure, and yeah, it's there for sure.
Want to have a look, Idrisil?
It just still jumps up.
You easily climb up that. You have a natural affinity to climbing trees, and you get up there, and you are inside this fort. It's like a Bart Simpson style fort inside. No girls allowed, but no, that's not true. There are some toys and stuff there, like, I don't know, wooden toys, like a small bow and some blunt wooden arrows and
Pentagrams and
a couple dolls and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a small little fort for kids.
Yeah. Is there anything that might stick out? Is there anything I see like one shoe or like clothes or anything?
Everything I described is what you see. You may make a perception roll, though.
We'll see. That'll be a 12 total.
12 total. No, that's all that you see.
Yep.
Gillian's searching around to see if there's an obvious trail that goes like further into the woods.
Sure, make a survival roll. You need a 20 or higher.
Nope.
Nowhere near.
All right.
I'm going to use a hero point.
Oh, all right.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
That die just
God.
went flying across the table.
All right, different die. No.
Okay, all that effort. You see lots and lots of tracks. The town helped search around these trees quite a bit, and you can't make heads or tails of what's going who or where.
Let's see.
Well, we've only just started looking.
Did we talk to the people here? Because that might be a good start. We could ask someone.
The villages, yeah.
Yeah, Killian and Idrisel did last night.
You said that she goes off on her own quite a bit recently. But she's never been gone much after dark. And there's no one really suspicious that anyone could name, and they didn't let us talk to the other children.
Well, you weren't a gnome.
That's true.
I will walk up to the village's house.
All right.
Knock on the door.
As you walk towards the house from the rear, you see someone was looking out the rear window and closes some little drapes as you begin to head this way. You walk around to the front of the house and knock on the door. The door opens up, and there is a young man named Jepper standing there. And he says, "Hello. Oh, what do you want?"
Hi. You have been needing my help, it seems. Jepper, you don't know this. I'm sure you don't know a lot of things. I am a defender of Edlin Home. In fact, we all are.
He closes the door.
Hang on! I put my hand in.
All right.
Into the door.
You put your hand in. He stops closing it on you. He opens it up again.
Jepper, we're here to help you with Celicia. I know that she's around, and I think you can help us find her. What do you know about where she is? We want to bring her home.
Make a diplomacy roll as the door begins to close again.
18.
All right. He closes the door and says, "How do you think you can help? You're just a bartender."
I'm not. And I take my hand, the one that might still be in the door or is now open, and I make it glow green.
Whoa.
I then point to the dirt behind me, just turn myself around, and I lift a rock out of the ground.
Wow.
I take my other hand.
Okay, I get it. This is a well-manicured yarn. Don't mess it up.
It's not just me. We can do a lot of things together, and I think we can help her. Do you have any idea where she goes when she's by herself? Or anyone that she's been talking to?
Yeah, we go out to a fort out behind the house.
We looked at the fort. Is that the only place that she likes to go, or that everyone likes to go?
That's the only place. I mean, she sometimes has been out there longer than the rest of us, playing with her little trinkets.
What things does she play with?
Her little trinket thing she has in the window.
Can you describe it?
It's square, but there's no glass, and you can see through it.
Right window. Okay, I thought you said something else. I just wanted to make sure. Does she have any jewelry or anything that she usually likes to play with?
No, she's got jewelry, but you can't have that.
I don't want it. I just wanted to make sure that it may have been with her where she was.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, you've been super helpful. I think we might have something to go on here. Oh, one other thing.
What's that?
What are her
You
friends'
slammed the
names?
door on his face. So close.
What are her friends' names?
Her friends? We don't have friends. We have each other.
Not one other person, Jeppers? Just you?
It's us.
That's got to be really sad.
He closes the door on you after all. You closes the door. Slam.
I kept that to myself.
You return to the group.
Not helpful. Did not work out, but he did mention that she had a trinket. I start glowing purple and I start trying to detect magic.
Okay. Going purple, detecting magic. You can detect magic around the fort area.
I was going to say that you should do that. I was like, nah.
There's something magical near the fort. Hang on a second. I'm going to move closer to it and see if I can really focus.
Okay, you are able to he spends a good 10, 15 minutes walking 15 feet to this side and to this side and to this side and narrowing it in to a particular section. You point that out to Idrisil, and Idrisil, you climb back up, and with his guidance, you are able to find a small little slab of wood that can be pried open, and within is a single small figurine hidden within. It looks like a little horse or a little unicorn, but it's made out of twine and sticks of wood, possibly made by a child.
I pick up the item and I inspect it a little bit, and then I hand it quite gently to, I guess, Xander, maybe Iggy, whoever's kind of closest to me. I reach down and...
Okay, Xander,
Hand it
you
to them.
have it. And Xander, you exclude it from your search. You search again and you don't detect magic. So this is the one item.
All right, this is it. There's some magic in here. Give me a second. I'm going to read its aura.
Oh, okay. Reading its aura, you make a roll that you don't know what it is for roll.
All right. This is what is this? That's not too bad. Unaffected at 16.
16 is your base roll. After you spend some time casting your read aura on the item, you get additional information. This is a magical item of very faint nature that is based on divination magic. And in particular, you recognize this as an occult item used sometimes in simple rituals that is sometimes used by nasty sorcerers and spellcasters to attract weak-minded people to certain locations.
This is a natural calling item. This is used to lure people. That's exactly its design. This is a natural piece of magic. This is dark, natural magic. This is something a witch would use.
For what purpose?
Luring people away,
Stealing children.
To where?
Children.
wherever they are, or wherever they need them to go. This would call them.
To the item.
It would call them to the maker or to a location that they would have it from.
So not to the item.
So how do we find her now?
Let's go.
Here,
Let's
Iggy.
go to the
take
witch.
this.
It could be the witch. It could be someone else. I wish I had a way that I could trace this actual location, where it's from. Only works on weak-minded.
Here, let me try.
I hand Jix the horse.
Jix, make a willpower saving throw, please.
He's
On it.
He's having a fun time playing this little horse.
7.
So perfect. That is what you wanted. And he's really enamored by it. And you start playing with this thing going, woo, it's going up and down. It's galloping. You sit down on the grass and start playing this little thing. And then you're like making sure it's okay and it's well fed. And the rest of the group's kind of looking at each other. And you just keep playing for like 5, 6, 7 minutes. And then the group starts to back away at Killian's request. He posted you guys. You guys back away 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 feet. Jix, you could not care any more about it. You care less. You're just completely just enthralled with this fun, relaxing toy. And he is no longer a member of this group until you go and take that away from him. He's very pleased with it.
I brought the horse with us, so I hand the reins over to Killian and I go up to Jix and take the doll out of his hand.
No!
Yes, sir.
No!
Yeah, you're getting weird. You're getting,
Trying to fight him.
you're getting weird.
It's mine.
No. I'll give it back to you later.
What have you named it, Jix?
Entropy.
going in the notes.
All right.
I'm gonna just put the doll in my pack.
Okay. Jix seems a little flustered.
Yeah, Jix is side-eyeing Iggy for that.
Why'd you take my horse away?
Because you were acting weird.
I was just playing with it.
You were playing with it for about 15 minutes.
Now's not the time for playing.
Entropy needed some attention. She's been missing her previous owner. I was just giving her some love.
Xander, I think this proves your point. It definitely...
He's a brony.
Hell yes, I'm a brony.
I knew it.
We need to hunt down the witch. That's my suspicion. If this is a magic item used by, like you say, possibly used by a witch, what a witch is known for?
Because he also might be missing. Does Lofio have any items or a secret hidey place that he likes to go to?
I only knew him briefly while he was here. I don't know of any specific place or anything of that nature.
Does he have a room?
At the temple, yes.
Maybe we should check that out too to see if he has anything.
It's not a bad idea, yes.
Would anyone at the lodge know his whereabouts, possibly? Does he know anyone there?
He was at the, he would go to the Ember Lantern. A lot.
If we go there as well, if not as a group, Xana, when you go there for the night, if there's anyone there, maybe ask them if they've seen him.
I think if we're gonna look for him, we gotta remember those guys from the lumber camp that were giving him a hard time.
No.
Yes, of course.
The other night.
Was that?
That was
You mean a month ago?
it was a month ago. He was having some fun and joking around with some of the local miners.
Miners.
Yeah,
not lumber
that was the
camp.
one
Yes.
moment you guys saw him.
That's right.
But I no offense to your brother, but we should follow the lead on looking for this little girl.
I agree.
It is likely that where she is, he is as well.
Yeah.
As if he's truly
possible.
missing, it is probably connected. So if we find her, it is likely that we will find his abductor as well.
Xander reaches into his carry pouch and to pull out the map that he had, the crudely made map that the keeper would not take from me, and look at it again in relation to where the tower is and point out, all right, if we're going to go, the swamp witch is that way.
You look at the map Xander has, it's very crude, and the other direction you went with the faces, Idrisil, you had a rough idea and were able to find it. This one, you think it would be very challenging, not impossible, but very challenging to find based on this very simplistic map. There aren't any identifiers that are easy to find. It might be several days before you are successful or several days before you might give up. This is going to be much tougher to locate.
Is there anybody in town that would know local topography well enough to maybe give us some insight?
Make a society roll.
That is
two for
going
using
to
the word
be
topography.
That's going to be a 21.
21. You can think of two people off the top of your head that might be good at that. One is Portmer, the ranger in town that Idrisil works and lives with. And the other is, and someone else who might know about spellcaster types, is an old wizard in town by the name of Gabe the Wizard.
Either so. Is it possible we could speak to Portmer about this?
Yes, of course. I think I'll have a word with him this evening.
Very well. Will you loan him the map? So you can
Very
speak?
careful with it. It's our only one.
I crumble it into a ball and put it in my pocket.
Oh, okay.
I got it.
Scary part is he doesn't have pockets. You're heading to Portmer's place then?
Yes.
Okay, you head out to Portmer's place. You were just there like an hour and a half ago when you woke up from there. Portmer's place is an archery range, and he's got several little targets. He's up this morning out behind his place shooting at some targets with his old bow, and he sees, is it just you coming or is the group following along?
Anyone's welcome.
All right, the group is...
I'm actually gonna go to Gabe's.
Okay.
We had a really good time yesterday,
All right.
and he still smells funny, but he might have a map. It's better than this one.
Okay. Portmer is there, and
I'll go with
Xander.
Idrisil.
Oh, with Idrisil. Everyone's there with Idrisil except Xander.
I'm gonna go investigate
I'm so wrong.
the room, Lofio's room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going by yourself? Jix?
Jix is looking for another pony.
Jake's just hanging out with Iggy. He wants to get entropy back.
Okay. Portmer is there. You're walking past a barrel. He's got a bit of his breakfast of some bread and 2 apples on there. And he's about still 50, 60 feet away from you. He sees you coming and nods his head at you, Idrisil, your old archer trainer. And Portmer says, Idrisil, apple! And he readies his bow.
I grab the apple instinctively and I just throw it up and I lob it as high as I can.
Fires his arrow as true can be and hits it with his skill and pierces the apple and it goes spiraling through the air.
I attempt to tumble and catch it like a baseball.
You do so. Impressive. You're back early. Oh, and you've brought a friend. Yes, Iggy is here.
Throw the apple. He'll love it.
I pick up an apple.
There's the other apple.
I feed it to the horse.
Okay. That was my breakfast, but we can share.
I take the arrow out of the apple and I start twirling the arrow betwixt my fingers,
Yes.
and I just walk up to Portmer. Portmer, I've got something quite troublesome to ask you. I hope that you'll allow me this.
Of course. What is it?
Well, we've come across, and I take out the crumpled map from my breast.
Your bosom.
My bosom. My bosom buddy. And I show it to him.
This is moist.
Well, the apple kind of exploded on me, so some juice on me.
Smells musky.
So I got nothing.
I thank you for this gift.
Yes, I am. On this map, we're looking for, and he points to where it just says witch.
Oh, it's hard to see. It's
Yes.
all crumpled.
We're looking for a witch known to be somewhere in this area, Master. We're worried that she might have taken one of the village's children and some other people. We found this magical item that we know to be of divination magic to attract people of small mind or small children, and we're worried that she's been taken. We told the villagers this was our next mission and that we would look for them, and I'm hoping that you, with your knowledge of the area, could help us out.
That's nasty business for sure. I don't know of any witch, but I do know of an old lady who is a foul alchemist I've heard of some time ago, and out in that direction, that may very well be your witch. If you're determined to head out there, I can point you to here and here. He points on the map and takes the arrow from your hand and pokes a tiny little hole here and there. You're looking for some clearings. The trees will break away in this direction. It's about 3 days travel from here. And once you get to this section, he pokes a second time, you're going to get into a little bit of a swampy area. You best want to stay clear of the water. It's sometimes called the burning swamp. It can agitate the skin, I'm quite sure.
I have a goblin friend who will love that.
No good.
You said this is inside of the swamp, Master?
It's a swamp-like area, yes.
Well, that might be just the help that we needed. We were told that there was someone in that area. We just couldn't put 2 and 2 together until now.
Well, I wish you the best.
And I take the apple and I just throw it straight up into the air just one more time.
He hits it again. Huzzah!
As always.
Killian, as you're making your way towards the temple, you are outside, you're walking past the one big general store in town, Grimdew's Groceries. Grimdew is a half-orc in town who likes no one and has horrific customer service, and he is loading up a wagon with tons of stuff. And he says, hey, priest, Help out. Load this in there.
Carol, bless you. Keep on going.
Bastard. I'll remember this. I'll always remember this. And you have made a friend for life. Xander, you have knocked upon the door for quite some time, and
This is
no
a major
one...
quest line that I just
Oh, yeah, sure.
I just finished writing down his name.
Xander, no one's answering at Gabe's place. You've been trying for quite some time and no success.
Knew it! Just every time! I kick the door.
Okay, it does not open.
Ow!
clap twice.
I walk away. Hang on. I walk away towards... Yep, I walk straight towards Portmer's.
Okay. You guys meet up at Portmer's. You chat a bit. Idrisil shares some of his information. A little bit later, you...
Holes! Why are there holes?
It's a very specific hole in the very specific place.
You run into Killian, who has returned from the temple where there was not much of anything in Acolyte Lofio's room.
Okay.
But there's still some stuff. So, like, his basic essentials are there, so he didn't leave town.
Right.
Jix wants to try and get the horse out of Iggy's.
Absolutely.
Ouch.
You offer to help guide the horse here. You offer to take off some weight from Iggy's pack there. Make a sleight of hand thievery roll, please.
17.
What is your perception, Iggy?
16.
16. You are able to acquire Entropy the horse without Iggy being aware.
I get it as soon as I get it out of his pocket. I just stop walking where we are, and I just plop down, crisscross applesauce, and start playing with the horse.
You guys keep chatting, you keep walking, you walk about 10, 15, 20 feet away, and then one of you happens to look back and see he's just sitting in the middle of the road enjoying himself again.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, you little shit.
taking arrows out of the...
Did you steal? You pickpocketed me?
He's ignoring you.
I go up and I rip it out of his hand.
Hey!
No, I said not till later. It is not time to play.
This is my horse.
No, it's your little dolly, and you don't have time to fuck around with it right now.
And I gesture to the miniature, the figurine, and I ask Portner, I tell Portner, this is the effect that it's been having on the children. We assume you saw him for the past 5 minutes. This is what we're worried about.
Foul business. Best be cautious.
Cautious, Jix. Not playtime.
What's your plan? You guys got anything else in store?
I'm gonna
Or are you heading off
suggest
to the witch?
I'm gonna suggest in motion that we head towards the temple of Carahel to meet up with Killian.
You've met up with him?
He's-
He's
oh, you're
just
the-
passed along
yeah.
info?
I'm right here.
You guys.
Yeah, so pass along the information
What?
about the whereabouts of the witch.
I just want to make sure that we have everything that we need before we go take another long trip. We were gone for a month. We used a lot of stuff, apparently. Like ropes.
Oh, that's a good point. Let's go see that goddamned orc at the general store.
He seemed like he was in a good mood.
Okay. You head to Grimdew's Groceries. He is there. He's sent that wagon on its way. You go in and the door opens, and as soon as you open it, you hear, "We're closed, whoever you are."
No, you're not.
Says who? And he comes out.
Says Ignal.
Oh, you.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, you.
We're gonna buy some stuff and you're gonna sell it to us.
That's how it works. I know.
You're not closed.
What do you want?
Carol, bless you.
Oh, and you. You bring the best little idiots in here, dwarf.
So, 2 ropes and like whatever, like food provisions or whatever we need
Sure.
for 2 people.
Yeah, and the rest of you, did you pay for your standard of living stuff? So that'll all be part of it, except for the ropes. Ropes will run you a glorious 5 silver pieces.
Okay. So 2 of them.
2 of those is a gold. I'd
Yeah.
say it's a pleasure doing business, but it ain't.
Shut up.
You stick it. I'd say stick it where the sun don't shine, but that's everywhere on you.
I love you guys. This is the best. Every time it kills me.
Okay, you guys head out. You're putting this gear on a now stolen horse?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's ours now.
Acquisitions.
Currently us. All
Yeah.
right.
The horse's name is Edward.
It's been named Edward the horse.
And deputized.
Okay.
You're a defender of Edmund Home, Edward. Welcome to the troop.
You plant, you put your supplies and stuff on there. You travel a little bit lighter as he's now your draft animal.
One of those ropes I do give to
Jix?
Jix,
All right.
because we both
Thanks,
lost
Eek, sir.
Yeah. Don't pick my pocket again.
Make a thievery roll.
I was about to say.
This has happened several minutes ago.
17.
Yes, you say that as he's already on the ground, haphazardly taking the rope from you without looking at it and playing with the figurine outside the store.
Oh, Entropy, I missed you too.
Idrisil, being a safe distance away from the horse already, being kind of in the back of the group, just picks up the goblin as he's walking and just carries him.
All right.
I'm just going to carry him if we're walking.
Okay, and you drag the goblin along. You guys take the horse out, dragging the goblin ignobly behind, and you head off in search of this odd swamp witch, and we will stop there for tonight. Our heroes explored not one, but 2 towers side by side. There they got their hands on some sort of master gear. A strange fellow arrived from the sky above. He mistook Xander for the weird gnome named Vargalos and commanded them to take the gear back to Bottom Hill Farms. The heroes saw lots of commotion going on at the farms and took off on another quest to find a witch rumored to live in a swamp. Thank you to Seth, Alistair, Jeremy, Tim, and Chris. Thank you to our sponsor, the Fantasy Grounds Virtual Tabletop, and thanks go out to you, our listeners, for joining us on Season 3. Hey, we have a lot of fun here at the Inglorious Bards, but it also takes a lot of work. If you'd like to help out the show, consider throwing a few dollars our way at patreon.com/ingloriousbards. Every bit helps and gets you a lot of exclusive content. What the heck is going on at the Bottom Hill Farms? And where will the hunt for this swamp witch take our heroes next? Until next time.